Welcome, everybody. It is Saturday Night Alive for you, the Global Peace Tribe. It is Saturday night, June 26th, 2021. And I always put that date in there because more and more people are watching our show down the line on our YouTube channel. So, of course, a big welcome to all of you live in our Zoom room. A big welcome to all of you live watching us on Facebook or the different YouTube channels. And also a special hello to anybody watching us even in the future. You all are welcome because we're all members of this incredible growing tribe of imaginal cells finding each other and co-creating the new world. Tonight's show is our very last episode of season 5. We kind of go on a quarterly basis, and we have put together a wonderful, wonderful show. It's got just amazing teachers, presenters, music, and we're really excited about it. And for those of you that are watching on Facebook or YouTube, come on into our Zoom room. Come in directly because it's a really great way that you can interact more easily with all of our wonderful presenters and performers. And it's easy. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and register. It takes about a minute. What's nice about that is we have your email address. Don't worry, we save it. It's only for us. But then you'll get an email on Monday that gives you the access to the replay and also how to access our previous shows. And I think this is our 67th show. Each one is about 3 hours filled with amazing people. So there's a lot. And we also are now doing more and more events. And we want you to know about these events. So please come on into our Zoom room by registering at globalpeacetribe.com. And again, for those of you in the Zoom room, we've got a couple of hundred of you now, continue to let us know where you're from. We've got people from all over the world tuning in. I want to thank our sponsor and our executive producer who has made this show happen. This is our dear friend, Jay Mayer, and the founder of Light Touch. And you're going to be having a chance to experience a couple of wonderful Light Touch videos that Jay created. And then our senior producer who's put this show together, the lovely Jan Kaplan, who's also going to be a co-host for us tonight. So thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jan, for all that you do. And we're looking forward to hearing from you a little bit later on in the show. And with no further ado, it's my pleasure to turn it over to my partner, Debra Giusti.
Thank you, Scott, and welcome everyone. This is our 67th show, the last show of season 5, Time to Thrive, and we are launching season 6, An Incredible Mix, making contact, building connections, and raising consciousness. And remember, we always have a new Zoom link on every season, so please register and get your new Zoom link. And we thank you so much for your donations when you register and when you give to our GoFundMe, because we share this show for free to you and we request donations to help us produce these incredible shows every Saturday night that we've done since April 2020. And this is going to be another amazing show. Our theme is building our harmonious future with Indigenous and spiritual wisdom. We are celebrating an amazing close of World Unity Week today. We did a great show last week that honored them, and they've been having broadcasts every single day celebrating diversity of our planet and including people from all over the world as we empower each other to help create transformational change in our world. So in this show, we are honoring the spiritual wisdom of the people that are close to the earth, the Indigenous, but also we're honoring the modern wisdom keepers of modern cultures now as we come together and unite this wisdom that can really change our world. So what does it take to build our harmonious future? And how can we apply Indigenous wisdom and spiritual wisdom from our modern wisdom keepers as we birth the new vision of a unified and harmonious world that we want to inspire, where we include everyone, we honor ourselves, and we honor Mother Earth. And we've got a great group of presenters and musical performers, as usual tonight, to honor that theme, and I'd love to introduce them to you now. We have Gary Zukav with his partner, Linda Francis. Gary is author of 4 consecutive New York Times bestsellers, and the one that he's most famous for, his bestseller, The Seed of the Soul. And this leads the way to seeing the alignment of the personality and the soul as the fulfillment of life. It's captured the imagination of millions. Welcome, Gary and Linda. And
Thank you, Becky.
yes, welcome.
Thank you.
And we're happy to have again one of our favorite, Chief Phil Lane. He's an enrolled member of the Yonkan Dakota Chickasaw Nations, and he's internationally recognized leader in human and community development. And he has extensive experience in his own cultural traditions, and he's also an award-winning author and film producer. Welcome, Chief Phil.
Happy to be here.
And we're very happy to have, for the first time, taught Erick Gonzalez. Over a 40-year period, Erick has traveled and trained under and initiated with spiritual elders from Mexico, Colombia, Peru, Guatemala, throughout North America. And he carries the responsibility now of spiritual leaders, teacher, and earth wisdom teachers in traditional Indigenous circles. Welcome, Erick. We are also going to be featuring Andrew Harvey. He is the founder of the Institute of Sacred Activism, international organization focused on inviting concerned people to take up the challenge. He's going to be coming to us on video tonight. And we're also going to have one of the producers of World Unity Week, Becky Suzik. She is a joyful mixed media creator, collaborator. She's one of the main organizers, which was a very enriching international conference that happened this last week. And we're going to hear from Becky all about it and get the highlights on that. Welcome.
One word,
Becky.
just joy.
Joy. Wonderful. Welcome, welcome. And as usual, we have incredible musicians. For the first time, we're so happy to feature Jaya, Lakshmi, and Ananda. They are musical artists in the genre of mantra music, heart songs. They offer kirtan, healing music, devotional songs, and kirtronica. Welcome, Jaya, Lakshmi, and Ananda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have Paul Izak, who has balanced his life as a farmer, but also a musician for the last decade. His connection with the land has shaped his devotion to music, and you will hear that in his music. Welcome, Paul. And we're going to feature one of our favorite Native American musicians who is most celebrated. She is an award winner, gifted singer-songwriter. She's a Grammy Award winner with 3 nominations and an Emmy nominee. This is Joanne Shenandoah, and she's going to come to us through video tonight. And we're also going to be featuring Rocky Dawuni. He is a Grammy-nominated musician, activist. He straddles the boundaries between Africa, the Caribbean, US, Afro roots, incredible musician. He's performed with Stevie Wonder, Peter Gabriel, Jason Mraz, John Legend, and many others. And we're also happy to have back again Heather Rogers. She's an award-winning magician, precision performance speaker, and epigenetics human potential coach. She has presented magical programs of over 4,000 public and private events. Even she was there at the Barack Obama's inaugural ball in Washington, DC. So happy to have you back again, Heather. And we always use this format to generate green love to give out to organizations. We started this at the beginning. We funded probably about 50 community organizations as you donate during the show and after, as we send you the email afterwards, and this green love goes out. But tonight we're going to ask for support for Saturday Night Alive because we are launching season 6. It takes a lot to produce it. So we're asking for that green love for our GoFundMe for Saturday Night Alive. And so we'll be putting the link in the chat room. We appreciate all that you can give, and we'll share more about that later. And so thank you so much for joining us. It's going to be an incredible show. And Scott, do you want to bring some music on?
Absolutely. We always love starting with music. And it's really, really cool that we've got Ananda and Jaya Lakshmi. I've known Jaya Lakshmi for a very, very long time. Um, and so it's wonderful to have her back on. She's got an amazing voice. And I've been following her and Ananda as they've been creating so much together for many, many years now. For any of you who aren't familiar with them, they're musical artists in the genre of mantra music and heart songs. And they offer this unique mix of kirtan, healing mantra music, singer-songwriter, devotional English songs. They're known for their powerful blend of modern and ancient soundscapes. So it's great to have them. Since 2011, they've released over 16 albums. And up until a certain pandemic, they were touring, averaging 200 events per year. And they also hold their own retreats. Their latest musical release is Lakshmi Dreams. So with no further ado, thank you so much for being with us. And we're looking forward to hearing your beautiful music.
You're the creator, you're the sustainer, you're the destroyer of all. You're my lover, you're my partner, you're my teacher of all, and I bow to you, and I bow to you, and I bow to you, and I bow to you. You're the earth from which all things grow. You're the water, the eternal flow. You're the fire that glows on and on. You're the air I breathe in for this song, and I bow to you, and I bow to you, and I bow to you, and I bow to you. You're the sweetness that embraces me. You're the all-pervading truth and beauty. You're the infinite love, bestower of grace. You're the compassion, healing space, and I bow to you, and I bow to you, and I bow to you, and I bow to you. Om Namo Buddhaya. Namo Gurudev Namo Madhure Name Shukadhure Name Satgure Name Shri Gurudeve Name Madhure Name Shukadhure Name Satgure Name Shri Gurudeve Name Madhure Name Shukadhure Name Satgure Name Shri Gurudeve Name. And I bow to you, 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 and I bow to you.
So beautiful. It's such a perfect song for really initiating tonight's show and really bowing to all the different spiritual traditions that we're going to be honoring tonight and hearing from. So thank you so much. And I just want to encourage people to, you can learn a lot more about Jaya, Lakshmi, and Ananda by going to the website. It's their name, Jaya, Lakshmi, and Ananda.com. Jaya, Lakshmi, and Ananda.com. And definitely register, find out about upcoming events. And they're going to be back playing more music for us in a little while. So thank you so much, you two. Absolutely beautiful.
Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, guys.
All right. And to introduce our first presenter, one of our favorite people, Miss Debra.
Thank you, Scott. And beautiful Jaya, Lakshmi, and Ananda. Such a beautiful way to start this amazing show. Much love. And this is another incredible way to start this show with our first presenter, Chief Phil Lane. He's been on our show several times and we love him. We love his passion, his commitment, his dedication to righting the wrongs that are happening now and taking us to the next level. He's an enrolled member of the Yonkan Dakota Chickasaw Nation. He's internationally recognized as a leader in human and community development, and he's received national and international recognition for his work in promoting freedom and justice for Indigenous peoples. And we love his passion, we love his wisdom, and he was a big part of World Unity Week as well. So thank you, Chief Phil Lane, for coming on and bless us with your opening wisdom for tonight. Blessings.
Thank you so much, Debra, and thank you, Scott. Thank you, Saturday Night Live, and all the relatives. I just want to extend a warm and loving embrace to every member of our human family, past, present, and future, who are all here with us right now. And I want to say that the outcome of the first year since we inaugurated the Union of the Condor, the Quetzal, and Eagle on June 20th, 2020, has been an extraordinary year, extraordinary. And World Unity Week, without question, has formed the foundation spiritually, culturally, interculturally, technologically, most of all spiritually, to be able to manifest the beginning of peace on earth by 2030, without question. Now, what the nation states is going to cause them to come together and forever banish war from the face of the earth, I'm not sure, but it will happen. Our prophecies are very clear. And I'm so pleased during World Unity Week to see how our indigenous minds, in which we're all indigenous people, is beginning to emerge. Because an indigenous mind does not see colonial border states, colonial borders. Our indigenous people see oneness. We see relationships. We see our relatives are the mineral people, the plant people, the animal people. They're our relatives. But at the same time, we know without question that our creator of all good things, our beloved one, does never brings us anything, except for our own spiritual perfecting. I think it's so important to look as we look back in history. Over 500 years ago, there existed across the Americas the union of the condor and the eagle. Scholars now estimate 100 to 108 million relatives living here. We live together in relative peace and harmony. That's why we were able to produce almost 80% of every bit of food being eaten upon Mother Earth today. That's why, through our own sacred teachers, the white buffalo calf woman, the peacemaker, Quetzalcoatl, sweet medicine, Viracocha, Mako Kapak, and so many others, we were able to understand and realize the spiritual teachings of all faiths and traditions. Because this day has been prophesied without question. And so it was. We had developed here in the Americas, and I speak from the heart of that spirit and those relatives who are with us right now. We had developed on Mother Earth the most advanced spiritual civilization we've ever known, because we had unity. But we also had a lot more to learn. And so we can see the prophecy said, there's going to be a long wintertime, spiritual wintertime, 500 years it'll last. But if you hold on to your prayers, if you don't surrender to the oppression and abuse and to the spiritual teaching you've been given, the covenant we've held for since the beginning of time, if you hold on to those prayers and keep moving, the day would emerge, this great springtime we're now experiencing all together as one human family. And from our perspective, the foundation of this new global civilization is justice. Without justice, there cannot be unity. And without unity, there cannot be world peace. So justice at the foundation. At the same time, we also understand how it's so important as we move from the world of kings and queens and those individually typed leadership to, we're now moving to the leadership of the circle, where we sit together, understanding that each one of us is a sovereignty, ancient, imperishable, and everlasting. When we're born in this physical plane of time and space, we're born in that way. And that oneness of our soul that we know has no gender, has no race, ethnicity, anything that divides us together as a human family, it's one. And so our spiritual journey, just as our journey is in our mother's womb, where we're growing our earth suit from a tiny speck, growing our arms and legs and eyes and ears, our physical earth suit. Why? To prepare us for this coming world we're going to leave when we leave the womb world. This tiny constricted world of the womb. We wouldn't want to, in our safety, to leave it. But in the change of time, it happens. And so we go through, as we're going through now collectively, we come down to the birth canal. And I've been there with the birth, my daughters and son. And I got to say, I honor women from the bottom of my soul. And I pray the day will come, much sooner than later, the abuse of women will end upon Mother Earth. For the abuse of women is no different than the abuse of Mother Earth itself and ourselves at the core. And so as we come down that birth canal, struggling, all we've been prepared for, the physical beings of our arms and legs and eyes and ears, we didn't need them in the womb. We didn't even know outside the womb world were such worlds as this. And yet, in time, we don't know exactly when we come forth. We have our first breath. Born to this physical world and time and space. And for this alone, We must give thanksgiving always to our mothers and fathers, no matter what happened after. For we've been given life, life eternal. We're just beginning. We're just beginning this journey. And so the question comes, what is our purpose here? We've left the womb world. And by the way, we just didn't put our womb suit in a garbage can, as has happened today in this society. We took that with great love and respect and honor and put it in a sacred place and honored and prayed, because we knew that you might say womb suit connected us to that world beyond. And so the elders tell us our purpose here is to grow our arms and legs and ears spiritually, the spiritual arms and legs and eyes and ears, and the qualities, spiritual qualities we need when we leave this physical plane of time and space, which is a comparison to the worlds yet to come, is no different in comparing the baby in the mother's womb. When we're in the mother's womb, think of the comparison, being there in the mother's womb to this universe. That's how much greater the spiritual worlds are yet to come, without question. And so we've come to that time, just like from infancy, childhood, adulthood, we've now come to our spiritual maturity collectively as a human family, which we're entering into. A time very vast. So I was going to show a slide thing. I put it in the text because I felt it's more important just to share incredible unfolding that's happening, this awakening. We are one human family. And so I'd like to close, if I may, with a prayer. A prayer. And I want to greet my dear brother, Gary Zukav. I've been after him to write that book about the universal human for more than 25 years. And he is a dear beloved relative of my mother and father. He's adopted. He's the only person outside our culture my father ever put on a vision quest. And I want to say, brother, and your beloved Linda, God bless you both. You've helped me so much in my life. So I want to include them in our prayers, all of us in our prayers, as we move forward to this new day. Oten Kashlawa Kantaga, creator of the universe, most beloved one, all powerful one, most kind one, most compassionate one, ever forgiving one, most tender one, O ancient of days, O blessed beauty. We call upon your holy power at this time, surrounded by our ancestors, past, present, and future together, all giving thanksgiving for all that's unfolded to this beautiful day. It's been long prophesied. Poets have wished to be at this day that we're all part of. We give thanksgiving in that way. Thanksgiving so much. We know you're with us, closer than our closest vein at all times and all places, no matter how much alone it seems we are sometimes. We have our choices to make. And Takashla Wakantaka, we call upon all those tribes and nations of the East, for where comes the red sunrise, and thanksgiving have come together in unity and harmony as oneness. And that new dawn of a new dawning civilization is beginning to be seen everywhere all at once, more and more. And we call upon all those tribes and nations of the South, from where comes new life. And we welcome new life, a new springtime upon this Mother Earth. We give thanksgiving for all the relatives of the South and all good things that come. We give thanksgiving to the West, from where comes thunder, lightning, and rain. We call upon all those tribes and nations of the West to come together in unity and harmony and oneness and give thanksgiving. And we ask that we might awaken to the spiritual power of thunder, lightning, and rain. Our souls might awaken to this new day, the day that shall not be followed by night, as prophesied by all our sacred prophecies everywhere on Mother Earth. Most beloved one, all powerful one, ever forgiving one. We call upon all those nations, tribes, and nations of the North, from where comes the white snow. All those energies from the North might come together in unity and harmony. We give thanksgiving for that. We ask those spiritual powers, the north wind might so cleanse and purify our hearts that nothing remains within us except our oneness with our beloved Creator and with our ancestors right here and now. In Dakashla Wakanaka. we humble ourselves before Father Sky. At the same time, Creator, I ask forgiveness for mankind, because we have brought our civilization to this point. We elders have full responsibility where we're at right now. So I ask you to pity us men in our awkward ways. At the same time, we know there's always a divine plan. And we know this is the time of the emergence of womankind, the feminine dimensions of who each of us carry in our souls as one. So we pray, Creator, at this time, and bless and honor all our relatives, all the animal people, all the mineral people, all the plant people who help us along the way. We ask that womenkind may never be abused again. And I ask all the warriors that are here to stand up on behalf of womankind and end this abuse, this trafficking of children, these cruel things that are happening. Same time, the complete faith, Creator, we know without question that there will be peace on earth. It will happen as prayed. A heaven will be on earth. And that's the way it is. So I'm going to conclude with a prayer for unity that I love very deeply in my soul. Oh my God, unite the hearts of thy servants and reveal unto them thy great purpose. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavor and grant them strength to serve thee. O God, leave them not themselves, but guide their steps with light knowledge and cheer their hearts with thy love. Verily, thou art our helper, thy Lord. Hallelujah. And in our Dakota way, we complete our sharing. And I'd just love to come here. You know, I tell you what, this Saturday Night Live, I just love this. Because you open up our hearts, we can share with passion. And sometimes we have to share with passion. Exactly, so I thank you. So I'll finish off in our Dakota way. As hereditary leadership, we conclude with this. Shukmano he meodo, Chinupa Sapa he meodo. My name is Shukmano, a leader of warriors who takes the enemy's best horses, and I stand responsible before the Creator fully for my words and actions. My name is Chinupa Sapa, a sacred black pipe born of thunder, lightning, and rain, and I stand responsible for the Creator for my words and my actions. I want to say, Itakiapi, if I could take this computer and just take it and just bring it to the inmost computer of my soul, I'd do it. And take every one of you right here with me. I'm just going to do this. Oh! Oh! It's time to arise. We got fresh horses. Time to ride. This is what we've been prepared for. All of us, every one of us. We are universal humans. That's what we become. I am a universal human, which means I am all that is, as you are. Souls, ancient and perishable and everlasting. Hallelujah. Thank you so much, brother, sisters, everyone. How?
God bless you, Phil. Thank you so much. We love you. I'm going to go to gallery view for a moment where you just see everybody's delight in who you are and all that you share. You are so beloved. You are our absolute inspirational leader in so many ways. Thank you. And a couple of things.
Scott, I gotta say this though. Anything you see in me that you admire, if you didn't have it in yourself, you couldn't see it in me. Any qualities I have, anything about me that you see and admire, it's because you have it inside. We're just mirrors to each other. That's right. You have it. Everybody has it. I see it in you.
That's right. That's true.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I just say I love you. You are great. You're a great man. All of us are great people. Great
Everybody watching, everyone watching, all 300 people in the Zoom room and thousands on Facebook. And 2 ways to get more Chief Phil. His website is the initials FWII. That stands for Four Worlds International Institute. So you go to fwii.net, and that's where you can learn a little bit more. And we are going to have an after show tonight. And Phil, I will show your what you sent me, the slide presentation. I'll show that during the after show tonight, which will be at about 9 o'clock Pacific time. Thank you so much, Phil. We love you very much. Well, Phil is such a big part of World Unity Week. And we, of course, helped kick off World Unity Week last week. It kind of started with our show and it just ended. And so we are kind of proud to be bookending it. And so we, of course, last week had John and Summer Raymer and Ben Bowler on. And when we were talking about, well, how do we want to wrap it up? We said, we got to bring on Becky. Because Becky is wonderful. I have so appreciated getting to know this woman. She is just pure joy, which makes perfect sense because she is the founder of Joy Fuel. She's a mixed media creator, collaborator, and a coddywampler. Maybe she can explain to us, or maybe we can all do some coddywampling together. And she has been a big part of World Unity Week. She has spent 20 plus years in traditional old story corporate communications, running her own PR agency. And then what erupted out of her head and flowed into her heart, she began reimagining a new story for media and communications. And now Becky collaborates with people and company, creating uplifting, unifying, and healing spaces, as well as mixed media, art, and programming. Oh, and she has 3 children. And, well, we'll learn more. Becky, we are eager to hear from you all about you, World Unity Week. What do you have to share?
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And hello, coddywamplers. So I'm originally from England, but I'm here on Nusiok, Catawba, Tuscarora land in North Carolina, gratefully acknowledging the ancestors of this land. And coddywamplers is an English word, coddywampler, and it means to move about deliberately together towards an unknown destination. And we at World Unity Week, I think it's Saturday Night Alive, we are all moving forwards in an unknown destination. We know where we want to go, but here we are, united in a vision for a new story that is here right now. We are already here in the new story. And so many of us have had our voices amplified at World Unity Week. And we're so grateful to the co-producers, the co-conveners, the team uppers, all of us coddywamplers who've pulled together this incredible event. But I know there's such a thing as FOMO because I have 2 teenage daughters and a nearly teenage son. And they told me FOMO is fear of missing out. And so, yes, I come to you, I think, I'm not even sure if the closing ceremony is completely over yet, but I come to you almost post World Unity Week, but we are now in World Unity. So here it is to say that you're not missing anything if you're just hearing about World Unity Week, because I'd love to show you and bring you in to our beautiful One World. So if you go to worldunityweek.org and click on One World, you can click on any of these places. And I say to you to start where your curiosity lies. If you're interested in justice and healing, click there. But I'm going to show you another way that you can look at the list of all of the convergence rooms that were supported by 73 stewards and over 500 presentations, offerings, many of which are still available to you to watch. We'd be time travelers and go back in time and watch different events that happen. So I'm going to take you to the co-creators convergence. I'm going to do a little, hang on if I can do this, walking and chewing gum here, and take you to the Gifts of the Magi room. You click on a room that you find that that you're curious or think might bring you joy. You click on it, and hopefully the share screen will allow me to go there. And it'll take you right into the schedule, which now is a beautiful offering of things that you can click on to watch recordings. So you can jump around in between the different boards when you come to know the names like I do. I'm not going to show the full shortcuts because I don't have, I want to be respectful of time, but we'll go to sacred lands, sacred sites, and just say for this theme tonight of Indigenous and honoring Indigenous wisdom and bringing in our Mother Earth into our teachings, I feel I've been grateful to be on a journey of re-indiginating myself. And while I'm originally from England, I feel that I am re-indigenous. And thank you to Chief Phil Lane, Brother Phil, and for Sister Patricia for all the gifts of their teachings, and so many others that have been part of World Unity Week and have touched my life and so many others. You can come to sacred lands, sacred sites, and you can take an adventure. You can go to different sacred sites all over the world and watch videos for historic archive now of World Unity Week. And so we really encourage you to check out worldunityweek.org and go around and have a look, see what videos you find. The room stewards and the event hosts are doing their best to add recordings if there were recordings. So it's not over. So I'm really just so grateful to everybody who has brought forth their gifts for World Unity Week to remind us that each of us have gifts to give. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Scott and Debra, for having us. Thank you for supporting us. So beautiful.
Thank you, Becky. And it's amazing how much you've created. You know, when we had Ben on last week, and I was kind of acknowledging some of the great speakers he's had. And he said, yeah, we have great speakers, but you know what I'm really proud of, Scott? 700 volunteers. 700 people volunteered to help make it happen. And that's what I'm proud of.
And it also, can I just say one other thing that's like regenerative? So Purpose Earth was our fiscal sponsor, and they're creating a regenerative economy within World Unity Week, in that any funds that are gifted, the event was gifted freely to everyone. So there was no cost to attend, but there is a cost associated with it. And so any funds that are gifted actually go back into grants that are given to people and organizations within the community that actually made World Unity Week. So it's a regenerative economy. It's a new way of using money as an expression of love and backing different things that we really care about.
Perfect leading, because I was just going to tell people, we really want to encourage everyone to donate to Purpose Earth. And Debra's putting the links into Facebook, into our Zoom room. Here it is. And look at, they've raised $132,000 with 143 donors of their $200,000 goal. And they give out grants to amazing people. And I want to show a little video, and then we'll briefly talk about where the money goes. But here's a really special video that'll help you to know a little bit more about Purpose Earth.
And this is the time that we need to let go of all of our barriers and the things that told us to not do, you know, and let go of everything and really participate in oneness, humanity, and really care for each other.
So yeah, I mean, they're doing an amazing thing. You know, that first woman or young lady that we saw, she was rescued out of a sweatshop. And her story has broken my heart every time I've listened to it, as she talks about the conditions that approximately 40 million children are in right now, conditions of slave labor. And she was rescued from that. She shares her story, and she's one of many amazing beings that has come through World Unity Week that's been supported by Purpose Earth. So again, everybody, please, tonight we're asking people to donate to both Purpose Earth and also to Saturday Night Alive. We're asking for double donations tonight, but please go to Purpose Earth and make a donation. They're doing great, great work. And thank you, Becky, for all that you do and for sharing with us about that. Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing this work to the hearts of everybody out there. I love everybody here. I'm so grateful for the way everyone's bringing forth your gifts into the world. It's time. Here we are together. We'll do this.
Great. Thank you. And, you know, it is all about appreciation and gratitude. And I really want to acknowledge Jay Mayer, who is our sponsor for tonight's show, makes it all happen. And Jay is all about gratitude. And here is a special video he made all about celebration of gratitude. And as we watch this video, take in the blessings, take in the appreciation, because this is in gratitude for our Global Peace Tribe. Oops. Well, that was the wrong video. So this happens. I do apologize for that. Let's try again. We are going to play. Here it is. All right. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Here is the gratitude video from J. Mayer and Light Touch.
Blessings. Thank you for blessing everyone watching this with your best blessings for everyone.
Times 10, times 10, times 10, times 10. Thank you for divine love, for miracles and good fortune.
Thank you for blessing everyone watching this with your best blessings for everyone.
Wonderful musical choice, wonderful video. Thank you, Jay and Jan. They created together. In fact, to introduce our next presenter, here's our senior producer, the person who put this show together tonight, the lovely Jan Kaplan.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott. And we're so excited to have Paul Izak with us. He was born on the Hawaiian Islands, and he is a farmer. He has a turmeric farm. He's a musician, and he is married to a beautiful yoga teacher, and they have their farm, their yoga garden, and now they have a new family member called Zinnia Mele Mahina Izak. So I hope I said that right. She was born on the summer solstice. So Paul's been playing music for a long time. And the last 3 years, they've been focusing on cultivating a regenerative and permaculture-based organic farm in the back roads of, I hope I say this right, Manalo. You can say it. Okay, on Oahu. So anyways, we welcome Paul here. We're so excited to have him here. Say a few words about your Hawaiian Indigenous roots, and we'd love to hear a song from you.
Namaste and aloha, everybody. Mahalo so much, Jan, for inviting me. So grateful to be here for Saturday Night Alive. And my heart, yes, is extra full of joy and love and gratitude because baby Zinnia is in the world. She's 5 days old, and our farm is just beaming with light. Like Jan shared, we're on the island of Oahu, and I was born and raised here. And it's really been my life's journey for myself and my partner. Putting the trinity of yoga, gardening, and music has really brought a depth to our life that has allowed us to go deeper also into the cultural values and wisdom here in Hawaii and what it means to grow food here, what the plant medicine is here, which it's called la'au lapa'au here. And there's been just so much awakening in myself as I open myself up to what others have to offer. I'm very grateful for the elders who have taught me over the years and the deep wisdom that is in the Aina. So in Hawaii, Aina is referred to as the land which feeds, and we are all Keiki o Ka'aina, children of the land. And this phrase really hit my heart because of being from European bloodline and never have been to Europe, but realizing that my roots here in Hawaii have allowed me to also embrace this space, embrace the culture, the people, and all indigenous wisdom around the globe. And I just love how the indigenous microorganisms are coming up to our food. We are integrating indigenous roots of that location. So as one who grows organic food, I really feel like we are connecting all around the globe with these microorganism cells that are just vibrating love and energy. And it's been such a blessing to put this forth into music as well. A lot of my song is about the Aina. So I'm going to share a song today that is a new song called Reap What We Sow. And what we give in, we will receive back, in this mentality of Malama Aina. And one thing I wanted to share is in the song I use the word kalo. And kalo, there's a beautiful origin story, and it's represented of ohana. So the makua, the parent part of the plant, also has oha, which is the children, the keiki that come off the side. So in this song it says, take me to the kalo patch where the garden grows, because that's where the wisdom is held. So hope you enjoy. I would drop all my worries, drop all my fears. The Aina is calling, she speaks perfectly clear. Respect creation, I will provide. So much to share with you, nothing to hide. Oh, now. Take me to the kalo patch where the garden grows. Enjoy the fruits of our labors. We reap what we sow. Take me to the kalo patch where the garden grows. The fruits of our labors. We reap what we sow. Take me to the kalo. Searching for meaning, I'm searching for faith. Put my hands in the garden, yes, this is the right space to feel alive again, 'cause I'm here to thrive. The plants, they speak to me, say, open your eyes. That's right now. And take me to the kalo patch where the garden grows. Enjoy the fruits of our labors. We reap what we sow. And take me to the kalo patch where the garden grows. The fruits of our labors. We reap what we sow. Take me where the garden grows. Kalo patch where the garden grows. Enjoy the fruits of our labors. We reap what we sow. And take me to the kalo patch where the garden grows. Enjoy the fruits of our labors. We reap what we sow. Take me to the kalo. May the garden be abundant and be growing all the nourishing foods for you all, wherever you are in the world. Mahalo, mahalo.
Oh, thank you so much, Paul. And I just talk about now, take what we just heard of the song and look at that photo. There's Paul with his beloved and a whole lot of turmeric flying towards all of us. And I always want us to support our musical performers. But now that there's a little 5-day-old being that needs to be supported, extra purpose to go to yogardenhawaii.com, yogardenhawaii.com. And what are some things that you guys offer?
Say again?
What are some of the things, Paul, that we can get from you?
So right now we have much abundance of our olena, which is turmeric. You might be familiar with it. It's an herb that grows in the roots similar to ginger. We have both right now. So right now We're looking to sell in powder form or the raw root. So you can actually go on here and get a 10-pound box of turmeric. It's fresh. We're certified organic now, which feels really good to share that with people. We've always been organic, but now we actually have that offering. So yeah, just right now that's what we have the abundance of. But as you go through the store, there you'll see we have some other things to share, like dried bananas too.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Paul. We're going to play a wonderful video from Paul, also connecting to the earth a little bit later on in the show. But thank you for joining us, Paul, and thank you for all that you do, your music, and bringing us good, healthy, organic food. Really appreciate it.
Mahalo. Thank you.
All right. And now it's time for some magic. And to tell us all about that, here's Debra.
Thank you, Scott. Yes, we get to continue to raise the fun vibration of the show. Heather Rogers is a nationally known magician. She's an intuitive life strategist. She's a health coach, and she's a mind magician. And her mission is to create experiences that wake people up and organizations up to their extraordinary potential and help them express that. And she's presented at many very large functions like Barack Obama's inaugural ball in DC, as well as Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. And she's also a certified epigenetics precision health coach who has delivered over 500 intuitive transformational readings. We've had her on the show in the past, and she hasn't been with us for a while, but we've been wanting to have her back. So we're so happy to have her now. Welcome again to Saturday Night Alive, Heather.
Hi, everyone. It's wonderful to be back. Yes, this is my 4th appearance, and I just so appreciate an opportunity to share what I've got with you because you have a lot going on. Well, I'd have to say there's so much ancient wisdom being shared here tonight. And I want to elaborate on the diversity conversation so that everyone is included in the future visioning. Did you know that organizations spend $8 billion a year to understand diversity, equity, inclusion, when all they need to do is come on this show and all would be made clear? What are they missing out on? You know, neuroscience has taught us all something very important, and that is we share one thing, many things, but there's something we all share in common. The great equalizer, and that is we are all biased. We all are biased, and we can't help it. I have some interesting facts for you. Do you know that on average, men earn $800 a year more per inch of height? Yes, from 5'7" to 6'3", you can cha-ching, think $800 more because of that height. Also, until blind auditions for symphonies, predominantly, overwhelmingly, white men were chosen, but now we have blind auditions, which is great. And we also can have unconscious bias against ourselves. A study showed that when women were reminded of their gender just before taking a math test, they did less well. Isn't that crazy? It's just baffling, that piece. So with all the technology that we have, it turns out that we cannot erase everything we know. We have to add to it with new experiences. Now, I was on the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Committee for an event association, and we created a survey because we wanted to find out about the members. And we were quite surprised to see how many different people identified differently for their sexual orientation. Some were demi-pansexual, sapiosexual, queer, femme, bigender, and on and on. And I was actually once at a party, and a guy used a pickup line. He said, "You know, I am natural sexual." I thought, okay, we got natural sexual to add to that. That didn't appear in the survey, however. So what the survey did was it created an experience for me to expand upon what I knew. And that's how we shift it, right? We just have to keep creating new experiences. There was a study that showed that white leaders shifted their perspectives by looking at the history of African-American leaders, but it didn't last. They needed to keep saturated in that. So I'll give you an example that happened 2 weeks ago at an event I did. It was a 40th birthday party in Sacramento. And my client gave me some Facebook addresses, some Facebook pages to research her guests so I could surprise them with impossible information ahead of time. You know, I'd rehearse research and get it. And when I looked at these people, I found that some were quite conservative, quite radical. Some were actually flat earth proponents who thought that the insurrection was a really great idea. And when I saw that, I thought, oh my goodness, I need to rethink my program and to make sure I don't alienate them. So segments did get cut from the show. My pet prairie dog Digger did get cut from the show, but would you like to meet my pet prairie dog Digger? This is Digger. Yeah. Oh my goodness. This is Digger. He does tricks. You want to know? Digger's really excited to meet you guys. He does. Here, wait. Sit. Stand up. That was good. You know, it gets a little out of control. I'm going to have to hypnotize him. Look deep into my eyes. Deeper, Digger. He's hypnotized. He will do the wild hypnotic dance. Who did it? Oh, good job, Digger. What? Uh-oh, he wants to do some impersonations. All right, are you ready? Okay, he will now do impersonations of ex-heads of state. He will do Abraham Lincoln, Teddy Roosevelt, Barack Obama, and Donald Trump. But wait, he's not done. He will now impersonate the next president in 2024, a radical tree-hugging poli-sci major now attending UC Berkeley. Thank you very much. Like, oh, Digger, sit. Okay, there you go. Digger's good. In any case, that was one example. I'd like to give you another one that happened last week. I was asked to do a keynote on gratitude at a home in Sacramento. No offense to Sacramento or Governor Newsom's maskless restaurant parties during COVID, you know, but it was happening. And so my client said, she's a sound healer who was a progressive. And she said to me, I'm very concerned about you offending my guests. Because it happened before with her. And she said, you know that thing you do where you take water and you turn it to wine? I said, yeah. She said, don't do that. I don't want to offend any Christians. So I said, okay, absolutely. And then she said, you know that thing you do where you take a little fairy made of twigs and you invite everyone to join in to think of ways we can elevate our frequency and remind us that we're all connected. And everyone say, raise the frequency. Whoa. Go. Yeah. Now let's release it to the world. Everyone say release. I said, yeah, I know that trick. She said, don't do that. They're going to call it voodoo. I said, okay, that's definitely cut. And then she said, yeah, and you know that effect you do where you take that rope that you call transcendental floss instead of dental floss, and you basically bring it through your body to enlighten people and upgrading their auras. I said, yeah, the one where I enter their third chakra, where I increase their self-esteem. Then I get to their heart, where I flood them with compassion. But then I bring it to the brain, where I block their hearing so they can't hear their inner critic. But I don't stop there. I got to get it to the crown, where I upload my patented universality code, making them enlightened. Side effects may include, but are not varied to, blindness, bad breath, and allergies. Well, it's still in beta, but I'm going to get to alpha, theta, and delta. And she said, yeah, that one. Don't do that. She said, people are not interested in chakras or auras or kombucha dosing during eclipses. I can't handle it. We can't have that. So what that was in my mind was a wonderful opportunity, because she was very aware of other biases separate from hers. And she was concerned about making everyone feel included and everyone feel safe. And while we may not always agree with what people are doing, when we can truly connect by bringing everyone into the conversation, that's when sparks fly and the real magic happens. Thank you very much. And I will see you back in about an hour.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Heather. And before Heather goes, I just want to really acknowledge she is an amazing coach, and she works on many different levels. I know because I actually recently had a wonderful experience. She gave me a session that was powerful and really helped me get on track with some important things in my life. So I want to give a personal recommendation, and you can all learn a lot more by going to her website. And I'm going to bring her website up in a moment. But epigenetics is really important because we are so impacted and influenced by our ancestral history. And it's only been in our lifetime that we've learned that before we're even born, we receive a genetic download of the trauma of our ancestors going back 7 generations. So Heather understands this, and she understands how to work with people. As you now see, she's a lot of fun, but she's also very smart and very wise. So definitely go to epigeneticscoach.com, and learn all about how she can support you. And it's great stuff. And thank you, Heather. And thank you for, how do you do some of those things?
I write every show just for you all. It's always original, and I hope you appreciate it. I've got another set, so look out.
All right, we'll see you in about an hour. Thank you, Heather. You know, one of the things we've been doing on this show for a while now is wisdom jewels. And again, I want to thank Jan and Jay for creating these wisdom jewels. And we always pick something that has to do with the theme of the show. And tonight it's all about spiritual wisdom from different places. We've heard from Chief Phil, who of course is really universal. And of course, that's the thing. Great wisdom, regardless of where it's coming from, has a universality to it. Anyway, I love the quotes that they've chosen. So I invite you to kick back and let's see this week's wisdom jewels. Great job. Thank you, you guys. I love that you ended with Gary Zukav, who we're going to hear from very shortly. Well, this is the last episode of season 5, A Time to Thrive. And we are now moving forward next week into season 6, an incredible mix. And I want to just acknowledge how amazing it's been. This show that just started as a fundraising event. We thought the pandemic would last a few weeks. And now we're coming out of the pandemic, but this show has become so important to so many people. We're going to continue it on. And we are going to create some new ways of doing things. We've listened to what you've had to say, so we're going to try and tighten it up, make the shows a little bit shorter, a little bit more compact, fewer speakers, so that our speakers and musicians and magician can have a little bit more time. And so we're now building season 6, an incredible mix. And so want to remind you that it is important for everybody to register again. We register on kind of a regular basis. So you do need to re-register, to re-up, if you will, to join us. And what we're going to be doing is, one of the other things that's going to be different is for every show, we're going to have a co-host. And we're going to bring on some of your favorite presenters to come on and co-host the shows and co-create. And for the very first show, the one that'll be on next Saturday night, Kristen Hoffman is our co-host, and she has put together something very special. Here's a video to tell you about it.
Hello everyone, Kristen Hoffman here, and I am so excited to invite you to this week's Saturday Night Alive show as I co-host alongside our beloved Scott Catamas around the theme, The Great Awakening, Balancing Personal Freedom and Collective Vision. This promises to be a super juicy theme, and I have personally invited some of my favorite visionaries, leaders, mentors, and creative friends to come along for this deep dive conversation and exploration of freedom and our growth together as a collective. So please join us. We are so excited to see you there.
These are the guests that are all friends of hers that she's invited to be part of this show. Each and every one of these people are amazing. They're all brand new every night. So you're going to get a chance to meet a lot of extraordinary new people. She's an amazing dancer. He's an amazing musician. Another wonderful musician coming all the way from Australia. He's an Aboriginal. Stephanie Carlin, also a beautiful, incredible people. All joining us next Saturday night, July 3rd. Oh, and yes, Kristen Hoffman will take us on a musical journey, because I know that you guys all love that. So now is the time. Register at globalpeacetribe.com. Re-register so that you don't miss anything. You don't want to miss next week's show. And I'm just briefly going to show you what we've got in mind for the rest of July. July 10th, Mark Sims will be our co-host, and he will be sharing with us all of his plans for the upcoming harmonic convergence. And we're going to have some of your favorite people that are involved in the whole UFO field, including Danny Sheehan, and the latest update on the report that came out yesterday from the government. We've got some really important, every day there's new information there. July 17th, Pato Bonton and Antoinette, his wife, are going to be with me live. We're all going to be together, hosting a show on equality in relationships, including social and racial justice. On July 24th, we're going to be diving deep with Gabor Mate, Marianne Williamson, and several others on recovery and addiction and how to work with all of those things. And finally, July 31st, Jan Kaplan is putting together a wonderful show with our sponsor, Lori Grace, on the power of the brain and whole brain fitness. And that's just July. The whole summer is going to be filled. Summer for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, winter for those of you down south. We've got an amazing, amazing series planned for you. More music, new people, tighter shows, so don't miss it. Join us. And to tell you just a little bit more about it, here's Debra.
Thank you, Scott. Yes, like Scott said, this was just an inspiration from heart and spirit to respond to what we really needed to do, was to come together and connect and keep a high vibe going out there. But this has continued and grown so much. And not only are we now doing the show every Saturday night, we're featuring workshops from some of our incredible presenters, because our show you get a little taste of what they have to offer. We've had workshops with Cornflower and Kristen together. We did the workshop with Mark Sims and Danny Sheehan about the UFO disclosure last week. That was amazing. We have one coming up with Neil Donald Walsh. So we're continuing to respond to what we feel and what you're wanting us to do. And we really need a team, and we really need a website. So we do produce Saturday Night Alive free to you, and we do request green love back to us so that we can continue to do this and really support a very strong team to help us do it and create a state-of-the-art website. So you can go on, you can find your replays, you can find all the extra workshops, you can find Scott's Saturday Night Straight Talk and all of that. So two ways you can help us. You can sign up now, and when you sign up, you can give us a donation, and it's a sliding scale. So we'd love for you to give as much as you can. And then also, even if you're on a broadcast or Facebook, go to our GoFundMe and ping us some love there. And that can be any amount that works for you. $5, $50, $500, all of that comes back to us. We take that in and we give it back to you. So we really request your support. We've had these fundraising opportunities on this show from the very beginning, and we've raised about $90,000 that we've given out to all kinds of community organizations. And now we're reaching out and saying, hey, give your green love to us so we can take it in and give it back to you. And remember, you do need to sign up again because it will be a new Zoom link for the next season, season 6, which will be July through September. And we'll be releasing the shows month by month as we come across them. So thank you so much for your support, all your feedback, coming so much that you do. And I know a lot of you are on replays, so we appreciate that. And I will be posting in the chat room season 6 registration and the GoFundMe. And you can always find them in our emails that you'll get on Monday that will give you the replay, and on Wednesday that we'll share with you about the next show. So thank you so much. And we are going to bring back some music with Jaya, Lakshmi, and Ananda. What I love about them is the vibration that they hold, which is very high from spirit, very high from heart. And the blending of their music together and the harmony together is so beautiful. They can perform all kinds of things from mantras to Kurtronica dance music. And I've been with them for many versions of all that. So we're so happy to have you back on the show and to do another song for us now. Welcome back, Jaya, Lakshmi, and Ananda.
We have a little bit of change of set here, in case any of you noticed, because we have a gate tonight here, so we kind of really honored to be here to share this song. This is the day. Now is the time when I let go of my fears and inhibitions and sense of dread. When I give up control and I let you hold me with no resistance in my soul. Now is the time when I let go of my fears and ambitions and sense of dread. When I give up control and I let you hold me with no resistance in my soul. This is the day when I throw it all away into the fire of the all-loving one. Oh, now I have just what I need to be
day when I threw it all away into the fire of the all-loving one. Oh, now I have just what I need to be free, to feel who I really am. Here is the place where I fall into grace and release into the sweetness of your love. I surrender, I remember the light and the beauty that I am. Here is the place where I fall into grace and release into the sweetness of your love. I surrender, I remember the light and the beauty that I am. This is the day when I throw it all away into the fire of the all-loving one. Oh, now I have just what I need to be free, to feel who I really am. Oh, this is the day when I throw it all away into the fire of the all-loving one. Oh, now I have just what I need to be free, to feel who I really am. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. May all beings be happy. May all beings live in peace. May all beings be happy. May all beings live in This is the day when I throw it all away into the fire of the all-loving one. Oh, now I have just what I need to be free, to feel who I really am.
Mhm. So many people in the chat room are talking about how beautiful that song is. And just, there's such a beautiful frequency and vibration that you two create. And it really permeates our hearts. Thank you. We've been trying to get you for a year. I want you to know. Get on our wish list. And I keep asking Debra, how's it going with getting Ananda and Jaya Lakshmi? She said, well, we got to figure out when they're going to be together. So it was a long time coming and waiting. Thank you, Debra, for being persevering, because it's just awesome. You guys are great.
I'm so honored. Thank you for asking this.
And again, a reminder, everybody, that they have a wonderful website. You want to put your email in there so they can stay in touch with you. It's Jaya, Lakshmi, and Ananda.com. Jaya, Jaya, Lakshmi, Lakshmi, and A-N-D, Ananda, ANANDA.com. And you're going to be beginning to play live events again?
Yeah, hopefully. We have a few retreats coming up, so you can come join us for a little immersive experience this summer. Rafting in Oregon, healing retreat with Lakshmi in Oregon also. And then in September, we're going to be leading a Hawaii dolphin yoga and chanting retreat.
Probably be here in
September.
Here in Oregon.
So maybe you'll join us for one of those.
Wow, fantastic. Well, definitely. And is all that information on the website that I just showed?
Yes.
All the retreats are there, yeah.
I mean, it's time for us to come to these retreats and get together and actually hold each other while we listen to your music. So that sounds great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, well, we will hopefully see you on this show again soon, and definitely maybe at one of your retreats.
So thank you.
Oregon in the summer, oh my God, perfect time to be in the Pacific Northwest. Well, I get to introduce our keynote speaker for tonight. And he's someone that probably most of us have read one or more of his books. He certainly has been an incredible influence for a very long time for many of us. And of course, I'm talking about Gary Zukav. He's also someone we've wanted to have on the show for a long time. And our good friend Cornflower helped make that connection. So wherever you are, Cornflower, thank you. Gary is the author of 4 consecutive New York Times best-selling books, including the legendary Seat of the Soul. That book has led the way to seeing the alignment of the personality and the soul as the fulfillment of life. It's captured the imagination of millions, and clearly many of us listening tonight on Facebook or in our Zoom room. His books have sold a total of 6 million copies and are published in 32 languages. And he has just completed his newest book, Universal Human, which I think he'll probably tell us a little bit about. So without further ado, I'm turning it over to Gary Zukav. Gary, welcome.
Thank you, Scott. I'm so grateful to be here, and so grateful to you, Debra, and you, Janice, and all the people that have put this together. This is my first visit here, even though I've known that Cornflower has been participating for a while. And I wanted to talk a little bit about building a harmonious future with Indigenous and spiritual wisdom, because for me that means building a harmonious present. And the only place I can do that, for sure, is in me. And so just like Phil said in his prayer, who he is, he said, I take full responsibility for what I'm saying. He also did more than that. He said, I'm an elder and I take full responsibility for this world that we're in now, that we've got to change so much. Well, I feel that too. Creating authentic power is becoming the authority in your own life. And I'm so grateful to be able to speak to you about it. I know I got adopted into Lakota culture when a young fella came, well, I was pretty young too, to visit me in Sweden, where we were both at a conference in 1990, to ask me if I would do some things with him with Native American youth. And I said yes, and so that started a long history of our being together, and that was Brother Phil. And I went to a meeting of for Native American youth in a camp in the mountains east of San Diego. And that's where I met his dad, Phil Lane Sr. And Phil Lane Sr. really introduced me for the first time immediately to what I feel is indigenous wisdom. And it's not the wisdom that he shared. It's not the prophecies that Phil tells about, although it's all that too. But on the way out from the airport in San Diego, I was talking to the two young Indian people who were driving me, and I said, I hear that if you want to respect someone, an elder, you give them tobacco. Is that right? And they said, that's right. And I said, well, I'd like to do that, but I don't know how to get the tobacco. So they pulled off the road into a 7-Eleven. We bought some tobacco. We wrapped it in a little pouch. And then we got back in the car, and I said, well, what should I tell him? And they said, why are you giving him the tobacco? And I said, well, I'm giving him the tobacco because he's Phil's dad, because he's an elder, because his life is supporting Native American youth. And they said, the young people said, tell him that. So I met Phil that night, Phil Lane Sr., but I didn't get a chance to talk to him then because it was dark, and it was interesting. He looked like the cowboy, not the Indian. He wore jeans with a razor sharp crease in him. He had a big belt buckle that I realized later is part of many, many that he earned as a Northwest champion cutting horse rider and trainer. But the next morning, Phil and his dad, who had his own little room in this place, it was a YMCA camp. So Phil and I were in one room and his dad had another. And then we're walking in the sunshine back to where we're going to start this. And I thought, well, it's now or never. I don't know how to do this, but I simply stopped and I said, Mr. Lane, I want to give you something. And I gave him the tobacco. And I thought he was going to say, oh, washte. But instead he said, oh, my. He said, this hadn't happened to me in years. He said, the young people used to give tobacco all the time when they honored an elder. And he had my heart. I melted. And so he was in my life and I was in his. And then Linda and I were in his life together for the last 10 years of it. And I learned an awful lot. But just that is the Indian wisdom that I experienced. It's so grounded. It's so effortless. It's completely connected. Now, these are the people with culture. Also, when I visited some reservations, I saw a lot of alcoholism and sexual abuse and poverty. But when the culture is there, this relatedness is there. You'll see it at Standing Rock. You'll see it in the water protectors. So I was introduced to Phil's dad as Lakshmi, which is a term of endearment. Lakota term means uncle. And he used to teach me a lot. And then, as Phil mentioned, he helped me go on a vision quest once. And I did it on Mount Shasta. And I followed his directions. And I harvested some sage to make a circle. And I was going to spend 4 days and 4 nights. And on about the second and a half day, the circle, I tried to plan it wisely, but at noon, there was just no way that I could keep all of the circle out of the sun. There was no shade. And I felt so tired. I felt exhausted. And all I could do was lie down. And then I found myself in a fetal position with my back against the sage circle, as though I'd trying to get out of the circle just to get some shade. And while that was happening, I saw myself as a mother. And I was lying on the ground on my left side, and her child was laying near her, close. But she didn't have the strength to touch him. He was starving, and she was starving. And flies were walking on his eyes. And it was horrible. And then I became all of the starving mothers and all of their starving children in the world. And I couldn't do anything about it. And they couldn't do anything about it. After the vision quest, I was telling Lakshmi what happened to me. This happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. But when I got to that part, he said, "Oh, Donshka, nephew." He said, "Now you're talking like a man." So my interaction with Lakshmi, with Phil's dad, and with Phil over the years too, because this was in 1990 when Phil and I first met in Sweden, have done so many things for me. They've introduced me to cultures that are still connected, not only to the earth, and not in a mystical way, they're just grateful. They're multisensory. They see the earth as a living being, not like a geologist sees it. And that interaction, and in preparation for the vision quest with Lakshmi, redefined masculinity for me. As he was preparing me for the vision quest, he would say things like, "Now, Donshka, nephew," in Lakota. He said, if the tears come, you just let them come. And then he said something remarkable, at least in my heart. He said, "Let yourself melt into the Creator's tenderness." And I did. Harmony, for many of us in the old consciousness, is creating a circumstance of minimal conflict. We're still trying to get the most we can for the least we can give. But that's not harmony. Harmony is what I was experiencing. Once I went on a horseback ride with Phil Sr. And I still have that picture, not far from here, a few feet, in fact. And he let me ride on his horse, TVO's hired hand, or Old Fred. And that's a championship cutting horse. It won a lot of those silver belt buckles for Lakshmi. And he's riding on a young colt. And we're crossing a shallow river, like shallow, maybe 2 feet deep. And I have a picture of it. When I showed that picture to Lakshmi, he said, "Look at that, Donshka. That's a picture of harmony." And I looked at it. These two horses were in step. Lakshmi and I were just so there together. That's harmony. So there's a lot that's new in our species now. Almost everything. But the big news is that everyone in our species is now acquiring a new consciousness with new potential. But as wonderful and new and dramatic as that potential is, and everything in Universal Human is about that, it's the harmony. It's the experience that I had with Phil and his dad. We'd go to powwows, and Lakshmi would lead the dance. The dance means a long, winding, sort of pump-like with the legs dance. And he'd take off his Stetson and he'd hold it up like this to acknowledge the crowd. And I wasn't behind him, but I was the third behind him. So I think I didn't understand really the honor that Lakshmi was giving me to have a washitsu, which means a white man, in my case, a white boy, dancing behind him. But he gave me the authority to go anywhere in Indian country. I don't have to feel out of place, and I'm not out of place. I remember in those days I was doing shows with Oprah, and Linda and I went to visit Lakshmi in Walla Walla, Washington, where he lived. And he took me to, Linda's smiling over here. He took me to a bakery where he and two of his friends, who also looked like cowboys because they were, and they'd sit in this little bakery on a little table and they'd have coffee. So I'm not calling it a coffee shop. It wasn't, just a little bakery in Walla Walla. And he'd talk to me about what was happening on TV and what I was discussing with Oprah. And he'd say, Tonshka, now you're talking like the old people. And before he passed on, he said he was going back to the reservation because he wanted to visit the old people one more time, because he had questions for them that the young people are asking him. And then when I saw him when he got back, and I said, how'd it go? And he said, Tonshka, he said, they're all gone. All the old people are gone. And then he said, not really to me, just said it. Said, so how am I going to get the answers to tell the young people? And then he said, he answered his question. He said, I'm going to have to go deep inside myself and find them. That's harmony. That's wisdom. You don't have to be part of an indigenous culture. You don't have to be any culture. In fact, in my experience, when you touch something that's that deep and that good, you're not bound by a culture anymore. This doesn't mean you don't appreciate your culture and what it's given to you and what it can give to the world, but it means you're no longer identified with that. You're becoming a universal human. A human that's beyond religion, beyond culture, nation, beyond ethnic group, beyond gender. An authentically powerful human whose allegiance is to life first and all else second. And that's what we're becoming. And I feel everyone on this beautiful gathering knows that. And that's why we come. And now we have to do more than know that, in my opinion. We have to live it. And in my experience, that's hard. But in fact, that's the work. That's experiencing everything in me, challenging the destructive energy, that's fear, and cultivating the constructive energy, that's love. And doing that again and again, and again and again and again, until I start to do it more frequently. I haven't gotten to the place where I do it all the time now, but I do it more often than I did before. And in my experience, that's a good thing. Phil, if you're still on, thank you, Kola. I so appreciate you, and I so appreciate your dad.
No, dear brother, we love you so much, so much.
Oh.
Our prayers, you and beloved Sister Linda, and thank you so much. You've been such an enhancement in my life. I'm so thankful that you have now written what we've been talking about for so long, the universal human. So wonderful. I love you. Big hugs. Thank you so much. It just touched my soul because my father was right here. Ate was right here with us. Becky was right here with us, right here.
I feel him.
Was here with us. I can feel it. I just feel it. That's why I can be quiet here at this point.
Phil, you can turn on your camera. We would love to see you, but I can't put you on if you don't have your camera on. So if you can put on your camera, that would be awesome.
Okay.
And while Phil does that, there he is. There's
All
Hey, Phil.
Brother.
Phil, it's so good to see you again. I tried to call you before this meeting.
So wonderful, so wonderful. I've been listening with all my heart and soul. A beautiful evening. I thought I'm going to listen. And I was just, after you finished, after all the beautiful things you shared, that everywhere spirit. It's going to go have a little walk, so I can have my walking clothes on. So thank you so much, dear brother. I remember these things so clearly when we met in Sweden. When you said, we're just young men. He's very young. I was about 2 inches taller, black curly hair, and my plumbing was 100%.
The one thing, there's so much about Phil, but now, he's getting to be an older guy like me. But when we first met, there's some interesting things that I saw happen. Like at one, he used to have a summer gathering when he was a professor at Lethbridge. And it was at one of those, this was when you were given the Windstar Award by John Denver. And in that camp that we all set up, there were some young fellows. And one of them, and I'm not too sure, one of them might have been your nephew.
Yes.
He was a wrestler. And you might not know this, but Phil was a collegiate wrestler too. And the young fellow was challenging Phil. And Phil knew what was happening. The young buck wanted to prove himself. Phil put him on the ground in less than 3 minutes. Phil was probably in his 40s, and the other one was probably in his 18 or 19.
Brother, he's still challenging me. And so last year we had the same deal, and I did a little bit quicker than him. That's just practice, nothing more. But like my dad always said, Dad said, like he always said, he said, just wear out. Our earth suit just wears out. Then we'd be discovering the whole purpose that oneness has no gender. We have no gender in our soul, like you said. Anyway, I'm so excited to read your book. I can't wait. I've been waiting for it. We can understand we are universal humans.
And that's a perfect segue, Phil. It just came out. Gary has been working on this book, probably his whole life on one level. And it just was released a few days ago. And you can learn all about it and get it by going to universalhuman.com. Universalhuman.com. And I can't wait to get this book. And I think we all are going to want to get it. Gary has done such a beautiful job tonight of demonstrating being a universal human. And there is his beloved, his universal humaness. Whoops.
Emerging universal human.
Yes, we're emerging universal humans. I'm not a universal human, but that's the direction I'm going. And I'm starting a podcast, by the way, called Universal Human. The book is dedicated to emerging universal humans, and the podcast is going to explore emerging universal humans. And you might be one. That's why I have this podcast.
I want to encourage everybody to go to a second website where you can learn about the podcast, register, get on his email list. And it's seatofthesoul.com, his best-selling book, Seat of the Soul. Go to seatofthesoul.com, and there's a lot of things happening there, including if you go to resources. Well, they're the Soul School, and they're going to have a live online event coming up very, very soon. I'm going to try and do that. And it's not coming up here. There we go. They've got something very special happening, and it's happening very, very soon. It's happening July 21st to the 25th. Live interactive online retreat. So you've got a little homeopathic dosage tonight of Gary's vibration, beautiful energy that both he and Linda bring. So let's immerse ourselves. We got a homeopathic dose tonight. Now let's go in for the full meal.
Thank you, Scott. I love you all. I'm hoping that our paths will cross. As Phil's dad would say, my teepee flap is always open to you.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Let's just all take a breath. And, you know, what a beautiful, we're so blessed to witness people like Gary and to witness the love between Gary and Chief Bill, knowing that they go back decades and how they influence each other. And do you notice how when we have people like Gary and Neil Donald Walsh, many of the presenters, they always are so honoring of the other presenters. You know, I really always appreciate, like, the ego gets checked in at the door and it's just everybody honoring. So we were going to have Jan introduce our next presenter and she got bumped off. So I am going to make an attempt to introduce Rocky. Hello, Rocky. Welcome. Just need you to unmute, brother.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you very much. It is an honor to be here.
Oh, it's great to have you here. I'm going to read what, I hadn't prepared this. Jan was going to read it, but I'm going to share a little bit about you since you're new to our show. Rocky is a Grammy-nominated musician and activist, and he straddles the boundaries between Africa, the Caribbean, and the US. And he creates these appealing Afro root sound, which you're going to hear, that unites generations and cultures. He has shared the stage with Stevie Wonder, Peter Gabriel, Jason Mraz, Janelle Monáe, John Legend, among many, many others. He was named one of Africa's top global stars by CNN, and he has showcased his talent at such prestigious venues as the Kennedy Center, the Lincoln Center, and the Hollywood Bowl. He's also a UN Goodwill Ambassador for the Environment for Africa, and it goes on and on and on. His resume is extraordinary. There's so much that he's done. So again, we are honored to have you with us, Rocky. Welcome to Saturday Night Alive. The Global.
Thank you very much. I am truly honored to be here. And I was listening to Gary speak because I read Seat of the Soul some years back. And I also got opportunity to travel with Chief Phil Lane. And I'm from Ghana. I also grew up in a traditional, I like to not to use the word royal, but chief's lineage. My grandfather was a chief, my father was a chief, and currently my older brother is the chief of our people. So growing up, our traditions was something that we protected, and throughout my career, I've always tried to bring that as a means to also sensitize the youth of Ghana, the youth of Africa about the importance of maintaining the wisdom that was passed on to us, from our forefathers, ancestors, and also something that, our identity. But we have also had interruptions in our history, just like the indigenous people of Americas have had. We've had, instances of slavery, colonialism. And then currently to all of those cultures are being erased and lost. But what I've been doing is that since my music too, since I had opportunity of being one of the artists that started off from mainland Africa, I was able to move to the rest of the world. I've had opportunity of also having a lot of the youth to look up to me. And I've utilized that platform to try and inspire the youth about the importance of going back, embracing our culture, because I see it as something that our offering to the rest of humanity, because the way forward in our future is not necessarily what is ahead of us, it's what we already have behind us. And the video that we are just about to play was a video that, after I was nominated for a Grammy for my previous record, I decided that the follow-up record was going to be something that I was going to use to showcase. People were thinking, okay, I was going to go farther into the world and showcase the world, but I felt that it's better to look inwards as a means of, first of all, consolidating my identity, and at the same time, too, showcasing my identity. So this video, I went back to my ancestral homeland. It's a song called Beautiful People. And I just wanted to show the beauty that lies in indigenous ways, the wisdom, you know, that lies in indigenous spirituality, the thousands and thousands of years of social and spiritual R&D that right now is going to be key for all of us as we forge a new concept of humanity that transcends borders, transcends race, and also transcends, you know, our, you know, the concept of, you know, family, you know, to a much more global concept of family. I mean, I haven't read the book that Gary is getting ready to release, but I feel it in myself that this is definitely the pathway for all of us, because we have no other way but to make inroads to ourselves. The future is about all of us finding each other, finding our brothers, not among our own, but finding each other among the broader concept of humanity. And this song, Beautiful People, is celebrating all of us, but I wanted to do it in a way that to celebrate my own people as a means of celebrating everybody else. So thank you for inviting me to this platform. I'm truly honored and at the same time too humbled by the opportunity to connect with everybody here, to hear the words of wisdom that is coming from everyone speaking, and also to know that there is a renewed, you know, hope. Although we are all going through big issues right now around the world, you know, everybody felt that we've hit a wall, but I felt that it's the growth of a seed, because in our culture we say that before a new seed grows, the ground must break, and I feel that we are in that era right now. The era of shifting, the era of reorganizing, the era of recreation, and out of that will come that new seed and that big tree of life that will renew, re-nourish, and point us to the new times that we've all been waiting for. So this video that we're going to play is Beautiful People, and I want to dedicate to all of you beautiful people right here with me today. God bless you.
Thank you, Rocky, and everybody's going to love the video. It's so beautiful. Here we go.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I dedicate this song to you, my beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. Here I got a song for you, my beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. There are many things we cannot hide. There are many bonds that can be undone. Just like our bond, yeah. Everything in life is a sacrifice, but I know it was worth the price, for I did it for you. Here I come with a song, oh beautiful people, oh beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. I dedicate this song to you, my beautiful people, oh beautiful people, come and sing I dedicate this song for you, oh beautiful people. Oh beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah.
Oh, that was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. There's a lot of wonderful ways, I want to say, by the way, for us to get more of Rocky. And I'm going to go to, he's got a lot on YouTube, but also if you go to his primary website, it's his name, Rocky Dawuni. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yes,
sir.
yes.
So it's ROCKYDAWUNI.com, rockydawuni.com. And Rocky, it's just wonderful having you on our show. And I've had that, I played that song because I had to, embed it in my computer and check it out. I've had it in my head for the last 3 days. It's just like, and what a wonderful thing to be running through my head over and over, how beautiful people are. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much. God bless us all.
God bless us all. Please do come back on our show again. And stick around and watch. We've got some wonderful presenters. Erick Gonzalez is coming up. More magic with Heather. We've got some really good things. So stick around. And thank you for joining us. All right. I tell you, each person sharing in such beautiful ways. It's really, it's really a blessing to be a part of this Global Peace Tribe. And I just want to remind that all of you are precious parts of this. So thanks for being with us.
We are one. We are one. We are one. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. We are one love.
All right, our video now.
We are one love, aren't we? Isn't that like the message that's coming through from so many of the people that we're hearing tonight? The one love between Chief Phil and Gary Zukav and all of us. It's really quite beautiful. And there's still time for those of you watching us on YouTube channels or Facebook. Come on into our Zoom room. There's over 300 people in the Zoom room with us all chatting away. And it's always fascinating to see the conversations going on in the chat room. I recognize that some of you do put comments on Facebook. I go back and I look at those comments later on in the evening or in the week. But it's great if you come on in and join us. And that way we can keep you apprised of all that we're doing. Because as you're going to find out tonight, we've got a lot of new events that we're doing. And of course, this wonderful new season. So go to globalpeacetribe.com and register. That's globalpeacetribe.com and register. And again, I want to thank our, he's back, great. I want to thank our sponsor, Jay Mayer. Thank you, Jay, for sponsoring the show, for creating the videos. You created it at the last minute along with Jan, the promotional video you just saw, and all the videos you see. So thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jan, our senior producer, who brought in people like Rocky. Just fantastic. So thank you both very, very much for all that you do to make this show happen. Really, really grateful for you. And to tell us more and continue with the announcements, here's Debra.
And I want to thank everyone for your donations that you've given us tonight. It makes such a big difference as we launch the new season. So thank you so much, and please have them keep coming in. We appreciate it. It makes a big difference. And as well as signing up for season 5, there's other ways you can support Saturday Night Alive growing forward fully. One thing that we do is we allow for volunteers to help us. We have a social media team we're creating. So if social media posting is your love and your superpower, fill out our volunteer form and help us get information out to the world about Saturday Night Alive. Or maybe you have another superpower you'd like to share with us. I'm going to post that in the chat room, and it's always in our emails that we send out during the week. Or if you'd like to sponsor, we're definitely looking for more sponsors for season 6. So please contact us if you'd like that. I'm going to put our contact info in the chat room as well. Another thing we do, which is really great, if you know someone who would really benefit from joining Saturday Night Alive, you can pay it forward and you can give a gift of a Saturday Night Alive subscription. So I have a link I'm going to post in the chat room about that. And one other really great way is just for you to share about it with your friends, your family, on Facebook, and tell people about it. Word of mouth is golden. And we've created a promotional video that you can share on social media and Facebook that's really great, that will really share with people and give them the essence of what it's about. Scott, would you like to share that with them?
Here it is.
What have been your favorite forms of entertainment and connection with others? Were most of them shut down by the pandemic? It sure has been a tough time. Out of the dark of an unprecedented year, an incredible online community was birthed. It's Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. Ready for community inspiration and magical moments online? Since April 2020, this dynamic show has touched the lives of people all around the world. Join prominent luminaries, musicians, magicians, and comedians. This is your chance to relax and enjoy uplifting entertainment and inspirational messages from the comfort of home. Together, we are creating a new paradigm. Saturday Night Alive showcases internationally acclaimed speakers, best-selling authors, and wisdom keepers. Let them illuminate your path with tips, tools, and insights. It also sheds light on many timely topics. Discover how to master your relationships. Dive into the secrets behind ancient history. Receive deep wisdom from Indigenous elders, and much more. Dance along to live performances with high-vibe musicians and hear what these brilliant performers have to say. Experience major artists from the Conscious Festival circuit and beyond. You'll be dazzled by our conscious comedy, magnificent magic, and spoken word. The show is meeting our needs during these critical times. Saturday Night Alive delivers inspirational wisdom, community connection, and positive vibes. Join us every Saturday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, or catch the replays. Register for Zoom Room access. Enjoy live chats and a pre-show experience with presenters and the Global Peace Tribe. Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. Find out more and register now at globalpeacetribe.com.
Boy, I got to say, I feel like a proud papa watching that video and just seeing all the amazing people. Of course, all of those little excerpts are from when people were on our show. And we've had so many remarkable people, including all the wonderful presenters and musicians you've seen tonight. And it's because of your support. So thank you, everybody, for registering, for sharing it with your friends, and for donating. And I want to thank our people who have donated tonight. And a lot of you have donated, which really means a lot. And again, even while I'm reading off the names, you can still go to GoFundMe, just find Global Peace Tribe, and your donations are really welcome, whether it's $5 or $500 or $5,000. Yes, we have had people donate at that level, which has been really special. They come on as sponsors, so thank you. All right, there's somebody named Anonymous who just is incredibly generous and just keeps donating over and over. So I want to thank Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous very much. We also want to thank Laura Groffman, Jason Roberts, a lot more anonymous, Prashant, Pamela Young, Terry Russo. Terry, thank you. She's always right there. Ann Masterson, Patricia Murray, Janet Connell. Janet, I know you donate quite frequently. Thank you. Kim Manley, beautiful, very, very generous donation, Kim. Thank you so much. and Prashant again, and more anonymous. So again, thank you everybody for your donations and making this happen. And we are continuing to grow. We're continuing to evolve. We take in your consideration, what you want, and we're doing our best to give it to you. And we want to continue to hear from you. So thank you very much for all that you do to make this show happen. Again, thank you to Jay and Jan, and of course to Debra. We also have an amazing staff of team, Debbie Johnston, and all the other people that work with us, Laura Marr. Thank you to everybody. And what do we got next? I'm now taking a look at the agenda. We have Jan introducing our next speaker.
We're super excited to have Erick Gonzalez here live from Guatemala. Within traditional indigenous circles and native people of the Maya, Erick, he carries the responsibility of an Aj-Kij and a Kamal-Be, which means spiritual leader, teacher, and earth wisdom keeper. Over a 40-year period, he traveled and trained under and was initiated by spiritual elders from Mexico, Colombia, Peru, Guatemala, and throughout North America. And so he's been truly blessed with a unique connection to sacred guidance, which comes directly from spirit. His Earth Peoples United is creating 2 models of spiritual land stewardship, one in Guatemala on the shores of Lake Atitlan, and one north of in Northern California at Mount Shasta. So we welcome Erick to our show tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan, and greetings to all my relations. We send our love and our gratitude to each and one of you for the love exchange that is being created here with these efforts tonight, Saturday Night Alive. Debra and Scott and everybody who spoke tonight. It is a great honor to be here on our land of the Sutujil Maya. This is one of the instructions that we were given through all these years walking with the nations, a lot of our elders. And they talked about the time that we're living today. And this is the time we are now emerging to become the people made out of honey. Again, to find the collaboration, the cooperation with us, the human family, with all our relations across Mother Earth. We have been here staying close to our circles. We were requested to keep the fires alive as our ceremonial, elemental, spiritual teacher we have, to stay close to the plant teachers, help others as we walk across Mother Earth, to light the fires, to reunite our human family, because we see what happened when we lost the fire of life. We became very unstable, very destructive. But not all humanity was like that. Those who stay close to the fires, to stay close to that true love, the spiritual love, are now sharing as open doors for everybody. Like here, the great efforts that is being done. So my parents, they named me Erick Gonzalez, born here in Guatemala at a time of war and a lot of conflict. And we immigrated to the north, to the United States, where again, we reconnected with our relatives, native people of the land. And there was so much in common that I was adopted through many nations as we have walked through the Elder Circle in the North America. Walked with the 4 arrows when the nations were finding what was left of our people. And then all our travels took us through deep into the rainforest, across deserts, across the lands of our people. And we became the ones that walked the peaceful ways of the condor and the eagle. Took us here deep into Guatemala with our people, the Maya, into Colombia, into other countries. All are the great land of Abiyala, we call it. Through those great ceremonies, we were given instructions to take our fires, take the medicine, and share it with our family who were denied the rights to be human beings on this earth. So we call it Mexica, the cosmic citizens. We are the cosmic citizens that we are now embracing in taking responsibility for what we are, who we are, and what we became as a species. The sacred waters are asking us to do something. The sacred fires is asking us to present ourselves to the circle of life. The Mother Earth awaits us to again come with reverence, with love, with respect, with the request, may I again be in oneness with life, so that not all the animals afraid we walk in the forest, that not the forest cries because they feel a human coming in to destroy it, to take without request. And so our prayers and our ceremonies are focused to recreate that connection to spirit, to again kiss the earth and lay our bodies down to be rejuvenated, to have our lodges rejuvenated and teach us how to be in sacred relationship again. So we walk for peace, we live with love, we live with appreciation, we live with kindness as we learn again how to become one with all relations. And so they showed us as we emerge into the spirit to talk with to the universe, to talk with the essence of life. And so we call upon this time to all our relations to become aware again of this sacred spirit. We say, Rukushka, Rukush you live, heart of the heavens, heart of the earth. Rukushka, Rukushka, heart of the fire, heart of the wind, the air. Rukushka Slemal, the heart of life. Rukush Kokotzihal, the essence of the flower of life in which all of us have inside of us. That we must again come to our full potential as we heard others' great wisdom. That once again we become spirit beings to be in harmony with our Mother Earth and all our relations. So all those great gatherings, all the ceremonies we've been, it was to echo the elders' wisdom, to share it with all. So we following the instructions with the spirit to grow our food, grow the medicines, light those sacred fires in which we will have calmness, serenity once again. To bathe ourselves with love and appreciation for life. That's that simple. It is so common sense that we can listen again what Mother Earth is asking us to become, to be, and how to present ourselves to the web of life. So I thank you for the invitation to come and share here in this sacred circle. Just like you are invited to come and share your medicine with our people. So we have gathered many people from all over the world, as many of you have. Not to discuss and argue of what do we want to do, but to receive the wisdom of the ceremony of people, the essences of life, what we must do. How do I do this? We know as human species what we have to do, but we are deciding not to do it. As we watch all of it dies. It doesn't have to be like that. We can sing and dance and pray and celebrate life with reverence for each and one of all our relations. If we look, really see with our spirit, not just with our eyes, the beauty of the sunrise, the beauty of the birds singing and dancing, the way a flower opens. It is how our soul will open again through our humanity. But we must find what we love. I love you. I love my Mother Earth. So we've dedicated our lives to find, what do I love? I love my wife, Hetty, and my 5 children. I love my 8 grandkids. And now we have adopted many, many children all around, watching them grow to beautiful beings. We can do that. Each and one of us here, beautiful work you're doing. Thank you for the invitation to come this far here. We decide many times to stay in these mountains here, close to the water. A deer mountain over there, just north of Mount Shasta, springs where we share with people how to drink water again, go to the source of life. Somebody says, can I borrow your cup? No, just go down and drink the water. Put your heart in it, put your mind in it, put your essence inside that sacred spring and give thanks for that life. That's how precious it is, the water. To walk across the lands with no borders and no armies will be a dream come true. And it is prophesied, yes, and we are working towards that. To remind ourselves that we are spiritual beings and that we are becoming the people made out of honey, without identity, without gender, without age, without concepts or big things that we've been receiving for so many systems. And all those systems are collapsing. And what we see is love emerging from all directions, from so many beautiful relations. Like here, what you're doing here, to gather the beautiful hearts and minds of the humanity. How do we can share this? Now is coming about. So many times people were not allowed to even present ourselves to share anything. Now the reflowering of our nations is huge, beautiful trees, sharing the languages, the ceremonies, the dances, the love for nature, the love for our mother, the love for that sacred fire, not to use it in weapons or destruction, but to purify ourselves, to enlighten ourselves, to again humble ourselves. And we say, Takyong Maktat, Takyong Maknan, please forgive me, excuse me. With permission, I share my love with you tonight. With permission, I have presenting myself here as you have invited me. And we say, Matyo Shaweh, to you, thank you to you. As I return home to my place, to my things that I must do, I thank you for this opportunity, and may the Spirit bless each and one of you. Matyo Shaweh.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be in your presence, to receive your passionate, inspirational request for us to really reconnect to the earth, reconnect to each other. And again, your passion is beautiful. The love that you express for Mother Earth, for your wife, your 5 children, for your 8 grandchildren, touches my heart. And thank you. This whole show is about inspiration. And sir, you truly are an inspiration. Thank you so much. there is a website where we can learn more about his work, and it's spiritjaguar.com. Spiritjaguar.com. And there's a lot there, all about his spiritual services, teachings, and retreats to Guatemala. Wouldn't that be beautiful for a number of us to go down to Guatemala together? That'd be really fun. And we are going to be having retreats, and we are going to start doing bigger events. We're working on it. Well, inspiration comes in many forms. It's come tonight through great spiritual leaders like Erick, Gonzalez, and Gary Zukav, and Chief Phil Lane. It comes through music, like we've heard from Jaya, Lakshmi, and Ananda, and Rocky. And it also comes from magic and comedy. And so I'm really grateful that Heather's back with us, and I think she's got something special. Hey, Heather.
Hi, everyone. Well, I have to say that it would be nice if the inclusion conversation ran smooth as silk, but it is a complicated one. Just knowing, though, that this complicated conversation can tie its into knots, and also knowing the fact that we are biased does help. But lurking underneath the subconscious is the sense of bias. Apparently, it influences 90% of our behaviors. That's kind of a stopgap. But as mentioned, creating new experiences can help with that. So looking, instead of through the holes of life, look through them for a whole new paradigm of possibility. Now, today, I would like to offer actually a framework that I consider the 4 pillars that can shapeshift any area of your life. And these are simply clarity, action, connection, and transformation. And we're going to go through each of these today. Now, the first is clarity. As Steve Jobs says, you have to say no to 1,000 things. My magic teacher in Las Vegas, who you've seen on this show many times, Jeff McBride, says, you should focus on the miracle of the one thing. If you can take just one thing and dedicate all of your focus to it, the magic does happen. Now, this gets us clear about the conversation around insider and outsider dynamics. This is a key piece of inclusion and diversity, and it's an important one to look at because we aren't aware of it often. For example, if you were to ask a left-handed person what their life is like, they'd start by saying, well, I have to get special scissors. I have to buy a special baseball mitt. I have to be concerned, or I'm going to sit at the table at a dinner because I don't want to be knocking elbows with people or on a plane. And so it's a complicated conversation. So if you ask a right-handed person what it's like, they'll just essentially look at you, right? And that's what they mean by insider, outsider. Insiders might not even know they are. Another example, if there is a deaf person who can only communicate by reading lips, and there's a pandemic, they can't see when they go out. They can't read, they can't listen, they can't communicate. So that's an effect. And if you ask them what their life's like, it opens up a whole new level of clarity. So that's clarity. The next, I'm going to keep showing this as a visual aid, is action. Now, they say money loves clarity, but you can't get money without action. I love the idea that the actual translation of karma means action. That's what it means. And they say that most people, as they're getting ready to pass on their life, regret not having lived their dreams and fully elaborated their dreams. They say that there are only 7 days in a week, and someday is not one of them. There's an example of a woman who, she worked for a company, and it was 20 years after working for that company that she finally put pictures in her cubicle of her same-sex marriage and her children. 20 years. Maybe she was waiting for the courage, or maybe for the workplace acceptance, but she finally took that action. So we have to take the risk, everyone. We have to put our neck on the line here. I will gain the courage to bring this rope through my neck with the count of 3. Everyone count with me, please. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Whew. Thank you very much. Yes, yes, yes. Well, now we're moving on to connection. Clarity, action, connection, transformation. We can do so much more together than we can apart. And one thing that I really need help with is this Rubik's Cube. No matter how much I try to solve it, the more scrambled it gets. So can you please help me? I would like for us to solve this in midair, again, at the count of 3. All right? I need your help. Here we go. Everyone count with me. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. It's solved. You're the best. Another example of insider-outsider groups was the Me Too movement. And this was many women finally coming together to share deep pain created by insider-outsider dynamics, but also men too, right? People were sharing that. And I'll share an experience I had with it. I was many years ago, frankly, I was competing in a magic competition. And it was before the show, and I was down at the bottom of the stage, and we were running a sound cue. And I was doing like African dance as part of my crazy act. And I had to do the sound cue. And I did it, and the MC shouted out, "Oh, let's all throw quarters." And I stopped, and instead of letting it go, I walked straight to his eye, and I looked at him, and I said, "What did you just say?" And he did crumble, but he got his sniper shot in. But I hope that by connecting with him, he had a moment of transformation. I think he did, because he actually did eventually apologize for that. So we're moving now to transformation. Everybody loves this stuff, isn't it? Well, it seems that nature does have a natural flow that we can trust, that it does want to refine itself, like this simple handkerchief. If we intend something, say an origami bird, to form, we can envision it. We can have that clarity. We can take the action, make the connection, and have the transformation, making it turn into an origami bird. Oh yeah, gotta love that. So what do we do with this? Well, we have to make do with the hand that we've been dealt. We have to first start by look at what's missing. We realize that almost half of humanity is living on less than $5.50 a day. That the world's richest 1% make twice as much as 7 billion people. That the unpaid care worker at home is estimated to be making $10 trillion, to be worth that. And that's 3 times the number of the tech industry. And the fact that 10,000 people are dying every day for lack of connection to health services. So what do? Well, there's a lot we can do. We start by defining our collective goals. What are they? Then we dream together, like we're doing here tonight, to generate new ideas. Then we decide what action we want to take. We design a solution that delivers for everyone. Before I go, I'll ask if you could look into a crystal ball and see the ripple of all the good that you create, you would be truly amazed. On this program that's raised over $75,000, probably quite much more, for people who deeply need it. And here you are supporting the work. When we come together and envision a new world, that's when the magic happens. Thank you very much.
Oh my. This is fantastic, Heather, just fantastic. And thank you so much for a perfect example of inspiring us while entertaining us and educating us. Really, really beautiful. I want to remind everybody that Heather, as we can tell, is multi-talented. She's a magician. She's a comedian, but she's also a brilliant coach. I've worked with her very recently. She really helped me with something. And so if you're looking for a real time to transform your life, to take the next step forward, I really want to personally and professionally encourage you to go to Heather. And you can find out all about her by going to epigeneticscoach.com, epigeneticscoach.com, and check it out. And she works on so many levels. She's very, very psychically gifted, spiritually gifted. She's also smart, and as we've all seen tonight, she's a lot of fun. So definitely go see Heather. One last thing I want to do is bring up her postcard. If you are wondering, well, how do I reach her? Of course, go to epigeneticscoach.com, or you can email her for a free consultation and mini reading. Come on, free, like one of the great words of all time. Heather at epigeneticscoach.com. So send her right now, send her that email, because she's offering something very special. I'm telling you, it's very much worth it.
You can also get a life plan toolkit if you go to lifeplantoolkit.com. Thank you so much, Scott.
Heather, thank you so much. We booked her months ago because I kept trying to get her and she was like busy, busy, busy. So I said, okay, how about for the next season? She said, what's the last date? I said, June 26th. She said, take that one. And thank God you did, Heather. Really.
Blessings. What a privilege.
Thank you so much. It really is fun, isn't it? Having like amazing musicians, magicians, of course, presenters. It's really quite wonderful. And so much of this happens because of Jay Mayer and Light Touch. And Jay put together a really fun video featuring Missy Shamanatrix. Missy's been on our show before, and this is a brand new video. It's really playful, lots of fun. Enjoy. Well, that's a fun video. Good job, Missy, and of course, great job, Jay Mayer, for creating that. I am really honored that one of the people who's become a real friend of Saturday Night Live, the Global Peace Tribe, is Andrew Harvey. When we decided we wanted to start doing special events, Andrew was the very first person that we did something with. And I really want to say that his voice is as important a voice as any voice that's on the planet right now. This is an extraordinary man who has, for 45 years, been writing books. He averages a book a year. He's collaborated with everybody from the Dalai Lama to Carolyn Meese and on and on and on. And his wisdom is so powerful. And just like you saw with Chief Phil and Tata Erick Gonzalez, there's a passion that Andrew has because he's really speaking truth that comes through him. Honestly, we have hours of great footage from Andrew. It's really tough to choose just a few minutes. But given that this is all about spiritual wisdom from around the world, here is one of my favorite presenters of spiritual wisdom, Andrew Harvey, with a really beautiful message.
Is that we're asked to do three things which are almost impossible for a human being. But we can do it with God's help. The first is that we've got to feel the depth of the death. We can't pretend this global dark night isn't happening. It is happening, and actually it's the way through it is the way through it by feeling it, by allowing it to blast our fantasies, to destroy our magical thinking, to rubble our illusions, to terrify us into far, far deeper search for what cannot be shaken, what cannot die, what cannot. That's what it's for. So if you pretend it's not going on or have magical thinking about it, you'll miss its great gift. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we need to really become aware of the great secret at the core of the traditions, this evolutionary secret, and realize that the aim of the path isn't simply to become one with the one. That's a very important first stage. The aim of the evolutionary path is to be oned into the one, to be one in mind, one in heart, and one in the increasingly divinized body. This is something that has been hidden. And this requires a tremendous passion for the mother, for the embodied Godhead, the radiation of creativity of the one. That's the key. And that's the key that Aurobindo knew and Bede knew and Jean Gebser knew, and the great evolutionary mystics have all known that it's her gift, this birth. And the third thing that we're all being challenged to do, which is driving me crazy because people are still so paralyzed, is that we're being asked to act.
Yeah.
We're being asked to step out and risk our comfort zones and start acting to preserve democracy in America, to actually reverse the cold structures of evil that are killing the climate, to say no to the slaughter of the animals, to stand up for women and gay people and trans people, to really put our mouth, our life, our resources where our vision is. We simply can't just have this vision. We have to be this vision acting. So we have to combine profound feeling of the whole depth of the dark night, the burning in the dark night. We have to align with the truth of evolutionary mysticism, start doing the practices and realizing that we're being engoldened and born. And we have to act all at the same time with the fullness of our whole self, because that's how the birth will take place. By our full cooperation as fully human and fully divine, in full commitment to being hope walking, to being a midwife warrior of the new world. And that is what so many people are not doing. Right. They're not doing either the opening to the dark night and the depth of mystical practice. They haven't yet come to alignment with the evolutionary plan of the one, and they're waiting for everybody else to act without acting themselves. And that's why I'm so fierce about this, because I know that if we continue like that, we're going to die out. But if we bring those three forces together inside ourselves, we can collaborate with the divine evolutionary force and be born into a new humanity. And nobody knows the end of this journey because we're making it right now.
I just love that man so much. He's such a gift. And I want to thank the Mystic Abbot, Jerry, for saying you got to have Andrew on the show on Spiritual Wisdom. You're right, Jerry. It was a good call. To learn more about Andrew, please visit his website. This man has written so many books, and he's loved by Deepak and Marianne and the gang. And you go to his name, andrewharvey.net, andrewharvey.net. And really, I encourage you to support him, read his books, tune into what he's doing. I am going to show, we're going to have an after show tonight, and I am going to show one of his, another video. It's short, like 5 minutes, but there is more Andrew coming and more of our show coming. So definitely stick around. And now it's time for Global Peace Tribe Recommends.
So this is the place in the program where we share with you a lot of the other amazing virtual conferences, festivals, events, and what's happening in the community. And also the workshops that we are now creating for you from some of our amazing speakers and presenters. But first of all, I just want to report on what's going on with Pipeline 3. We did a whole show, our last Indigenous show that we did that combined Indigenous wisdom with the Galactics, really supporting the stopping of Pipeline 3, which is a pipeline from Canada going through Minnesota, going through native land and farmland. If it succeeds, it would carry more than 750,000 barrels a day of Canadian tar sands across Indigenous land and fragile ecosystems. We had Winona Duke on, and she said, this is a racist pipeline project forced down the throats of our people, an ecological time bomb and a giveaway to a Canadian multinational oil interest. If the president is generous in his pledge to take the climate justice and tribal rights seriously, his administration must stop defending the Trump's administration decision and undertake a genuine analysis of Line 3's environmental human impacts. Unfortunately, the Biden administration is still backing the Trump administration approval of the Enbridge Line 3, but the Native people and the community people are still fighting it with protests and support to really turn that over. So we want to say the fight is still on. You can still support. I'm going to put the link in the chat room of their website where you can find out what's going on. This is in northern Minnesota, and you can actually donate to them and give your green love to them to fight. They're fighting for all of us, and especially precious Native rights and Native land. So that's the report from that. And one of our next workshops we're going to hold is with Master Magician Jeff McBride. Now, he's the master teacher of a lot of the magicians that we've had on, including Heather Rogers that you saw. And he's been named the Magician of the Year. And what he's going to do for us is a VIP show for our Saturday Night Alive audience. He usually charges $100 for this. We'll be in the Zoom room together. He's going to do incredible magic, extremely entertaining, and we'll be able to interact with them all together. So we'll be at a magic show all together online. This is happening July 28th. Very reasonable tickets. There's early bird tickets that will last through July 5th. And Jeff McBride is just amazing. I'm going to post the links in the chat room, and you'll always see them on the emails that you get from us during the week. Thank you.
And now for the next Global Peace Tribe recommends, Debra's cat. What is she recommending, Debra?
Lots of love, that's for sure.
All right, she's about to get it. Thank you, Debra. Well, I want to remind people about the two shows that I do in addition to Saturday Night Live, every Friday night, Street Talk, and every Sunday morning, my Sacred Sunday show. And so I want to kind of just invite you to tomorrow and next Friday night. And tomorrow it's going to be really beautiful. You know, I did a recent long interview with Reverend Michael Beckwith. And so I'm going to be showing some excerpts of that interview. And my good friend and coach, my own personal coach, TJ Woodward, will be joining me. We did this a few weeks ago. People loved it. It was very popular. And so we decided to do a part 2. So it'll be very interactive. We will take questions from the people that come into our Zoom room. And you can watch it on Facebook and on YouTube. But we really want to invite you, come on into the Zoom room. It's at 10 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow morning. And we're going to be really tackling some of the big topics. And let's face it, we all know someone dealing with issues around addiction, depression, suicidal fantasies, and maybe even some of you are dealing with those things directly, whether it's direct or whether it's people that you know. It's out there. It's very common. And we have tools. We have practices. TJ is a brilliant coach. He wrote Conscious Recovery, which is a great book. I've been coaching for a long time. That's how I make my living. And so I want to really invite you to join TJ and I and Reverend Michael Beckwith tomorrow, Sunday at 10 a.m. You might recall that last week, Gary Malkin was on the show. Beautiful musician. He's won multiple Emmy Awards. And Gary is very involved in grief work, really helping people to work with their grief. And he has very innovative ways of doing that. It means a lot to me because I also work with people with grief since I watched my mother and my father and even my wife through their death. And so learning how to mourn, learning how to work with grief is important. And so next Friday night on my Straight Talk show, which is every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, we're going to be talking all about how to manage grief. And of course, my co-host and partner for that show is Trish, and she has a lot to offer as well. So please join us. Again, you can watch on Facebook or on YouTube, but we always enjoy people coming directly into the Zoom room. We will take questions. We may even bring people on camera. Last night's Straight Talk show, we brought people from the audience onto the show. And, you know, this is where we can go really deep. Obviously, on Saturday Night Live, I mean, an hour and a half with Gary Zukav, an hour and a half with Erick Gonzalez would be awesome. But of course, that's not the nature of this particular show. So Straight Talk and Sacred Sundays is where we can go much deeper into the topics and working with the people that you've met through our show that are precious to us. So that's why we do it. So please do join me. And also definitely register for the Jeff McBride show. I actually have already attended a very similar version of that show. He did a private showing that he invited me to. That's when I said, oh my God, we have to do this for the Saturday Night Alive, for the Global Peace Tribe crowd. And he said, okay. And then he discounted it ridiculously. People pay $100 for what you can get for $22. So register, there are limited seats, and you want to join us. We're all going to have a really fun night of magic on July 28th. And now to introduce our next piece, here is the lovely Jan Kaplan, our senior producer.
Hey, thank you so much. And, we've had Joanne Shenandoah on the show a few times, many times before. We love her so much. She's an amazing ambassador of peace. And this week was her birthday, so she couldn't actually be here in person with us, but she is one of America's most celebrated musicians. She's a lecturer. She's so creative. She's a gifted singer-songwriter, Grammy Award winner, and with 15 Native American Music Awards. So, but she's also a great humanitarian. And she's a descendant in the long line of the Shenandoah Iroquois family in upstate New York. And she's also created the Hiawatha Institute, which has amazing sacred Iroquois artifacts that they're looking to help, create a museum and honor all these amazing family artifacts and other recordings and things like that. So we do have a video recorded share from her and a beautiful song that she wrote. So I guess we're starting first with the song that she wrote, and here you go. Thank you.
One world, one mind, one love, we will find on common ground, peace will be found for all on earth. One world, one mind, one love, we will find on common ground, peace will be found for all on earth. One world, one mind, one love, we will find on common ground, peace will be found for all on earth. One world, one mind, one love, we will find on common ground, peace will be found for all on earth.
Just beautiful. And it's almost like a mantra. We did have a pre-recorded video. I'm not quite sure if Scott has that, but she did bless us with a beautiful message and her medicine. So Scott, what do you?
I don't have that right off hand. It wasn't sent to me in the things that I received today.
Okay.
So was this, yeah, so if you want to find it, I will absolutely play it during the after show and send it to me, but I don't have it right offhand. So this is the amazing experiences that we have of putting these shows together the ways that we do. And also, Jay Mayer, send me a note if during the after show, you and the Jam Bandits, which you recorded in Hawaii, if that's something you also wanted me to play, because I'm not clear on that. So I just need to know. And to kind of wrap us up, we are going to have an after show. I'm going to show a little more Andrew Harvey. I've got a couple of other things to share. But to wrap us up for tonight, the official show, here's my partner, Debra.
Thank you, Scott. And thank you, everyone, for being with us tonight. Thank you to all the presenters. It's always so amazing for Scott and I to do these shows. Truly, everyone shows up so incredibly beautiful and with so much love. And we just appreciate it so much. So thank you to everyone joining. Thank you to your donations. They really mean a lot to us to continue to do this. And just so much love to you all. This is waves and waves and waves of love that we're all sharing tonight to go out to the world. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Debra, and thank you for everything you do. Debra is quite amazing. So we're going to conclude tonight's official full show with a really fun video from Paul Ivy, who you met earlier. And then we'll kind of close out the official show, and then we have an after show, so stick around for that. And here we go with Paul Ivy, and a really beautiful video. You saw him earlier on our show. He is definitely all about connecting to the earth. Just had a child 5 days ago, and has a beautiful organic farm in Hawaii. Here's more music from Paul Isaac.
Envisioning green rows for miles and miles all around this planet, seeing that organic, regenerative agriculture in great abundance. Green rows. Envision what you want to see, manifest in this reality. We're open to prosperity. We're living in community, yes. Truly we must face the time. No longer shall the blind lead blind. Awakening you will find that everything will be just fine, yeah. Talking about your green roads for miles and miles. Green roads always gets you smiling. Green roads, and for a lifetime of smiles, growing miles and miles of green roads. That's right. And we can't help each other by sharing with one another. And we can't feed the people without using chemicals. And we can't help each other by sharing with one another, yes. And we can't feed the people without using chemicals, yes, yeah. Envision what you wanna see, manifest in this reality. I'm open to prosperity. I'm living in community, yeah. So find your friends and gather round and reach your hands into the ground and sing together freedom sound. Don't let no system get you down, no. Talking about your green roads for miles and miles. Green roads always gets you smiling. Green roads, and for a lifetime of smiles, we grow with miles and miles of green roads. That's right. And we can't help each other by sharing with one another. And we can't feed the people without using chemicals. That's right. We can't help each other by sharing with one another, hey. And we can't feed the people without using chemicals. Yes, yes, yeah. I'm here and open to receive. I receive the truth I truly do believe. I believe abundance is clear to see, clear to see when you live your life in harmony. Oh, everything will find its way, find its way. Live your life, come day by day, day by day. Seeds we planted here today, here today. Remind us love will always stay. Yeah. Talking about your green rose for miles and miles. Green rose always gets you smiling. Green rose. And for a lifetime of smiles, we grow with miles and miles of green rose. Oh, that's right for your green rose. Green rose for miles and miles. Green rose always gets you smiling. Green rose. Oh, yeah. For a lifetime, and for a lifetime of smiles, we grow with miles and miles of green rose. Phenomenal. And for the lifetime of smiles, we grow with miles and miles of green rose. Molo, yeah. And for the lifetime of smiles, we grow with miles and miles of green rose. Green rose all around this world. And for a lifetime of smiles, we grow with miles and miles of green rose. Hold that vision. Green rose for miles and miles. Regenerative farming. Whew. Much aloha, friends.
Absolutely. God, I love that video. Wasn't that fantastic? Hey, and Paul's with us. How perfect. Hey, buddy. I'm going to add you there. I love that video.
Mahalo for playing that, friends. I haven't seen it in a while, so yeah, it's inspiring to see how things grow too, you know?
Oh, it is so beautiful. And really made me I'm really missing Maui. I go to Maui frequently, and just the green, lush, and your vision, it's true. Let's all vision rows and rows and rows of green. We got too much cement in this world. We need more green.
I think that's a big part of unifying around this world is sustainable regenerative agriculture as well. So keep supporting organic regenerative farmers, friends. Mahalo.
So, hey, everybody, let's support, starting with our very own Paul Ivy. Look at all that turmeric that is flying towards us. All right. There's a lot of turmeric, and you know, turmeric is a really good thing. And this is fresh and organic, so we can get it with the roots themselves, or we can get the actual powder from you.
Mm-hmm.
And what are some of the qualities of turmeric? What are some of the things that turmeric does for us?
It's mostly known for its anti-inflammation, good for eyes, ears, nose, mouth. Also, it's known as a cancer preventative. So it's something you want to include for your digestion, just things, all kinds of different things in the body. And just as a preventative to, you know, keep you in tune, you know, it's just an amazing thing when you take it. You feel the energy of the turmeric, definitely.
How's your 5-year-old doing?
My 5-day-old.
5-day-old, I meant. That's what I meant, 5-day-old.
I keep going up and checking. She's just fast asleep.
Oh.
And I'm sure we're going to learn a lot from her as the years come by. I'm sure you'll see here at some point she'll be singing with me. She's got quite some pipes.
Oh, after only 5 days. You know that. Well, Paul, we definitely want to have you back on the show. You're just a beautiful heart. Your music's awesome. And thank you for being a big part of our show tonight.
I'm so grateful. Thank you all for embracing me, welcoming me.
Absolutely. Well, and thank you, everybody. We still have over 200 people in the Zoom room. I am going to close out the official part of the show. So this is where we'll live forever on YouTube. And stick around. We got 215 of you for the after show. Okay, now we're about to start the after show. And we're going to start the after show with more from Andrew Harvey. Wow, Gary Zukav is still with us. Gary and Linda, I'm going to put the spotlight on you for a moment. How wonderful. What are some of the highlights that you've enjoyed from the show tonight?
The energy throughout.
Yeah. It's our first
it's
experience.
Just been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's wonderful to see Phil again. We haven't spoken probably in a year or two. And it's just great to meet all of you. I just enjoyed everyone. I enjoyed all that Erick Gonzalez brought, a groundedness and a sacredness and that I treasure. And the same, of course, with Brother Phil. Rocky, Jay, it's great to see you, and I'm so glad that you're helping to continue this. And Jan, oh, there's Erick. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Greetings. And just everyone, Debbie, Heather, and you, Scott. I really, and Jerry, everyone. And I really appreciate your energy, Scott. Haven't met you before, but from the first time that we saw you and began to speak this evening, I knew that was good energy.
Well, thank you. I'm honored. And I love that Erick is still with us. And I'm actually going to remove myself for a moment and just allow the three of you to converse, because you haven't met before, I believe, but you got a chance to hear each other and drop in. So a meeting of three great souls that we get to witness for a moment.
I'm honored, Erick Gonzalez. I've heard about the eagle and the condor from Phil for years, and it's always been close to my heart.
Great honor to meet you, and thank you for all the beauty that's being shared here. It's just like a spark of a star coming to be alive with all the people together here. If we could add a little bit of our love, that's what we hear. And so, yeah, it's a great honor to be here, and a pleasure to meet you, and looking forward to reconnecting in the ways of our people, like to greet each other, so thank you.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps we'll meet on Mount Shasta sometime.
Yes. We live close to there in Ashland, Oregon.
One of our sacred places. We lived on Mount Shasta for a long time.
We lived on Mount Shasta for 13 years.
Yeah, we're right on the Catamas by Cupco Lake. We have about a couple thousand acres, and we live there at Deer Mountain. And the beauty there is the springs, lots of water, and we have our ceremonial grounds there where we gather a lot of people from all over the world. So you're always welcome to. We're right off of 5 towards Cupco Lake.
Thank you. Is that Lake Tule?
No, it's on the Catamas on Highway 5 going towards Montague.
Okay.
Just a little northeast of Wairika.
Oh,
yes.
Wairika.
Yeah, we're right away in the mountains up there.
Oh, yes.
It's beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful.
So many. It's original land of the Shasta, where they said that some of the first ghost dance were done by Wovoka, because they come over to that place, and so we have the ceremonial grounds and burial grounds there cared for right now. It's beautiful land, and then here too, we're inside of the Maya city of the Chuitinamit, we call it. It's Sotujil. So it's a lot of gifts from the ancestors here, and with the same here, we have the swell lodges, the ceremonial grounds, the Maloka, and so a lot of people come to the ceremonies here,
When will you be here again?
I'm leaving on Tuesday, go home Wednesday, because we are preparing camps for the ceremonies coming up in July and August.
Oh, are you in Oregon now?
No, I'm in Guatemala.
Sí.
I'm in Lake Kaplan.
Sí, claro que sí.
Yeah, I fly on Wednesday to go back to Medford.
We use that airport too. We are 17 miles from there. I hope to see you here. We'll go to your website and we'll find out how to connect with you, or we'll call Scott and find out.
I'll call Jan.
Or Jan, yeah.
Yeah, it will be beautiful to show you the land. Right now, we're planting a lot and harvesting, and then preparing the ceremonies. We call it the 9 fires. It's a Mayan ceremonies for preparations for people who want to carry those ways, So,
How long will you be? How long will you be here?
I'll probably be a month or so because we have other things here in Guatemala too. So I go back and forth quite a bit.
Well, I hope that our paths cross.
Yeah, and we'll stay in touch because we know that's our home over there too. So you're always welcome either there or here. So same with Scott and Jan and Debra, and my brother here, Paul. I have a daughter that lives not too far from you in Oahu.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where is she in?
I don't know the names, but she's over there in the bay. It's on, one of the bays there.
Maybe Kailua.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I have my 3 grandkids over there with her, so she's got her 3 kids.
Well, tell her she can come to my farm, Yo Garden. We have volunteer days on Thursdays.
Oh, good. She already said hi to you earlier. I saw that.
Oh, awesome. I'll check that out.
Yeah, I'll connect you with her because she loves these ways and she grew up with this, and she's 3 babies, so it'd be good with the kids.
We love having the cakey energy here, always.
And thank
nice
you
to meet
for
you
your
too.
sacred work, we're starting to learn now about the rejuvenating ranching and stuff for our land. And here we do too. We planted like over 500,000 trees to make a food forest here. So we grow a lot of food and medicines here, Yeah.
Much needed.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's good to meet you. It's good to meet you too. We've been going to Maui for 30 years. Not too much to Oahu, but
sometimes
the islands are deep in our hearts.
Beautiful. Yeah, all the islands hold a special place. Each island is precious in its own.
It is.
Yeah.
Rich in mana.
Yeah. Are you Kama'aina?
Yeah, born and raised here on Oahu. Yeah. Yeah, anytime if you come to Oahu, if you feel called, like I said, all are welcome to come visit the farm.
Mahalo. Maybe we'll do that.
We have some magical places to go to, everybody, don't we? It's remarkable how many people are up in the Ashland area that are part of this show. Of course, Cornflower.
Cornflower is our neighbor. He's living here on the property.
Oh my gosh. And he's like one of our favorite musicians. Of course, Neil Donald Walsh,
Neil is our friend also. Yes, he's here.
He's been on our show several times. He was our guest in our supporters party 2 weeks ago. Then Jean Houston, who's up in Ashland.
Yes, Jean also is a friend. And she lives here.
Yeah, so there's some very remarkable people there. So I have a lot of friends in Ashland, so I'm gonna have to come up and visit all of you.
Yeah.
Well, come and visit. We're here.
Please come. Yeah, we'd love to see you.
Lawrence had mentioned you before.
What?
Lawrence?
Lawrence.
Yeah.
Lawrence in Ashland?
Yeah, Lawrence Cuts.
Oh, yes, we know Lawrence.
Yes.
Mr. Purple Man. Yes, we know him. Yeah.
What a beautiful small world this is. And, we've seen all these remarkable teachers. And I am really eager to show, while we still have most of our audience, it's amazing they're still with us. I do want to show this other Andrew Harvey segment. It's short and it's so powerful. And it's just a really important piece of wisdom. So thank you, Gary and Linda and Todd, Erick and Paul for sticking around and exchanging. That was really fun. And you can stay on. We got a little bit more. But
I just want to say one thing. I just want to thank you so much for all that you've done, all of you that have been putting this on for all this time, Scott and Jan and all of you that have been part of this, and
everyone.
Jay. I really appreciate what you've been doing. Gary and I really didn't have an idea about that. We were so involved with what we were doing and so grateful that we followed our heart to say, yes, let's do this.
And we're so grateful to Cornflower for connecting us.
And Kristen, too. Yeah,
And Kristen. Yes, so many here.
Oh, well,
anyway, we're going to sign off now, but we just send our love to all of you and look forward to connecting again. Blessings.
Were you saying something, Scott?
Oh, just do tune in to, even when you're not on the show, tune in. And the July 3rd show that Kristen is co-hosting with me, it's going to be really, really fun. So
I'm sure.
I'm sure it will.
I'm
sure
sure.
it will. Okay.
All right.
Blessings,
Well,
all of you. Aloha.
aloha. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
All right. Here is some wonderful wisdom from Andrew Harvey. And isn't that fun just seeing the connection? It's really beautiful. All right, here we go.
Embodying the transcendent means the following. It means plunging with your whole passion into the most rigorous possible mystical discipline so that your mind can become the servant of enlightened intelligence, so that your heart can be broken and broken so wide open that it holds the entire experience of the cosmos in its vast embrace, all the ecstasy and all the agony contained in a vast peace. And it means bringing that power of radical knowledge of oneness with the one that you've been given through practice, not merely down into your mind, not merely down into your heart, but into the depths of your body, so your whole body becomes compassion's body, hope's body, love's body, wisdom's body. And it means enacting that unified force field of wisdom and compassion, peace and passion in inspired works of justice and compassion. That is what embodying the transcendent means. It is a complete revolution of our entire way of being and doing everything. And the transcendent is both extremely peaceful, utterly peaceful, and absolutely dynamic, because it's out of that great peaceful power that is emanated the mother force that creates the entire universe, all of the universes, always. And is all the processes in all of the universes, and all of the beings in all of the universes, and all of the interactions, and all of the evolutionary interactions. That is what oneness means. Oneness means coming into the unified force field of the one, grounding your entire being in fathomless rock-like peace, and acting from divine inspired passion, creative, evolutionary, wise, focused passion in reality to engender a wholly new way of being, on every level, in every realm, in every institution, in every political system, in every economic system, in every way we see and think of reality. And that's why those who embody the transcendent are the true revolutionaries. They are the ones who are given by their quest and by grace the capacity, the strength, the wisdom, the guidance to live an undivided life and express that undivided life in acts of monumental integrity and divinely blessed force in reality.
Boom. Huh? Wow. I'm going to bring all the way from Puerto Rico, just for a moment to say hello, Jerry Anderson. Jerry and I share many things, including a great love of Andrew Harvey. And Jerry, thank you for being with us all the way from Puerto Rico. What stands out for you from tonight or from what we just saw with Andrew?
Well, he is such a representative of the world of mystics and the explosive dimension beyond what we can even talk about. You know, his passion comes out explaining what we can look forward to with such amazing words. He's master at the vocabulary too. And it's about what the Mystic Monastery is about, is the making a path for the mystics of our world to be supported and feel honored in our space again.
Yeah, beautifully stated, beautifully stated. And Jerry, of course, is one of our dear friends who, again, we found him. He was watching the show. We said, we're looking for sponsors. He sent us a message, and now he's part of the family. And we're going to be doing a full show with Jerry and the Mystic Monastery. And I have a great idea that I want to run by you for that, Jerry, but I'll do that privately on August 14th. So that's going to be really fun. We are planning our shows. We're planning shows all the way out into October now because there's so many wonderful people wanting to participate and play with us. So it's pretty cool. So thank you, Jerry, for your love. And I was talking to Kristen Hoffman about you today. So I love that guy. The guy who's always dancing. He's always positive. I said, yeah, that guy. So anyway, thank you for being with us, Jerry.
It's a joy every week.
We are going to close with some music. And this is something really funny. In case any of you missed it, we had a great time doing a show all about the 60s. It was a Jay Mayer show, and it was on a few weeks ago. And Jay put together such a great medley. This is Jay and his buddy Jairus playing music. It's kind of like a medley of 60s songs. And then Jay, God knows how many hours he spent editing all the visuals, but it's a lot of fun. And it's gonna be a really fun way to close out tonight's show. And so here we go. Let me pull it up. Got it. Enjoy, everybody. It was a great job. I really, really enjoyed that every time I see it. You even got Jeannie in there, Barbara Eden, whom I met, to be honest. I met her. I'm going to bring Jay on for a second. Good job, Jay. You're still with us. Thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you for all your contributions, supporting the show, all the videos you made, last minute getting together the promo video for July 3rd. Thank you so much. And yeah, you're very much appreciated. Phyllis and Alyssa and Laura and Catherine are all saying, I love it, I love it. So a lot of love coming your way for those videos. Thank you.
It was so much fun, so much work and so much fun. Jairus, my friend Jairus, I was in Hawaii. We've been there for 5 weeks and you can hardly go to sleep because of the frogs singing all night long and downpours of rain, just, you know, that we were recording music with all that going on. It was a great joy to do that. 60s was the most important time. Something to have lived through that and still be here.
I know. I listen to all those images. Oh yeah, I was there. I worked in a psychedelic shop when I was a teenager. I worked in Love Records. I was a psychedelic shop. So.
Yeah, I remember we were looking for all these presenters for the show, and everyone was gone. We couldn't hardly find anybody. You know?
Oh, we did. Jan did a good job. Yeah. I got a text message from John Kay from Steppenwolf today, saying, "Hey, when are we going to do the next show together?" So that was kind of fun. All right, everybody. I need some dinner, so I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And next week is going to be a great show. Our first show. I'll bring Jerry on. Next week is our first show of the new season. Kristen Hoffman's got such great energy. And once you see other people she's bringing on board, it's going to be a wonderful show. So, and come tomorrow morning, Reverend Michael Beckwith, Scott Catamas, and TJ Woodward. It's a award-winning combination. Come join us tomorrow morning. Jerry, I love you. Jay, I love you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, all the people in the chat box. Let me save the chat. All right, because I always enjoy going back and reading it. And good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.